Hi, Pooja. Hello, ladies. Whoever is here, please comment on. Hi, Uma. I can see you. If you all can comment on the comment box. அப்போ எனக்கு யாராரு வந்திருக்கீங்கன்னு எனக்கு தெரியும். I can see Pooja. I can see Uma. எனக்கு நீங்க ஹலோ சொல்லலன்னா யார் வந்திருக்கீங்கன்னு எனக்கு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. Pooja, if you tell me when to start, I'm happy to start. இல்ல கொஞ்ச நேரம் வெயிட் பண்ணணும்னாலும் I can wait. Hi, Padma. சாரி, நான் மட்டுமே தான் பேசணும். நீங்கலாம் பேசுறது எனக்கு கேட்காது. உங்களுக்கு இப்போ இப்போ வந்திருக்கிற உங்களுக்குலாம் எதான ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் கொஸ்டின் இருந்ததுன்னா சாட் பாக்ஸ்ல போடுங்க. எவ்வளவுக்கு 1 ஹவர்ல கவர் பண்ண முடியுமோ I will try my level best to cover. ஜெனரலா பேசுவேன். பட் சில பேர் எனக்கு பிரைவேட் மெசேஜ் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க. கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் அந்த டாபிக் எடுத்து நான் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். பட் வேற ஏதாவது உங்களுக்கு ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் கொஸ்டின் இருந்ததுன்னா ப்ளீஸ் ஆஸ்க் மீ. I hope your Saturday afternoon is nice. I'm feeling bored at home. இன்னைக்கு லஞ்சுக்கு நீங்களாம் என்ன சாப்பிட்டீங்கன்னு சேட் பாக்ஸ்ல போட்டீங்கன்னா அதை பார்த்து நான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறேன். ஹாய் சந்தியா. இன்னைக்கு லைவ் செஷனுக்கு வந்தமைக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. நான் கொஞ்சம் இங்கிலீஷ் பாதி தமிழ் பேசுறேன். ஃபுல்லாவே தமிழ் பேசணும்னாலும் சொல்லுங்க, ஃபுல்லாவும் தமிழ் பேசுறேன். சரி பூஜா, டைம் லிமிட் இல்ல. ஓகே, பட் I'll try to keep it within an hour. அப்படி எக்ஸிட் பண்ணா நான் பண்றேன். நிறைய கொஸ்டின் வருது அப்படின்னா அவள் பாவக்காய் குழம்பு. உமா வந்து பாவக்காய் குழம்பு சமைச்சிருக்காங்க. நான் I was very lazy. நான் கீழே இருக்கிற ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்ல ஆர்டர் பண்ணி அவங்க கொண்டாந்து மேலே கொடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டான். So I just ate. சவ் சவ். ஏன்பா லாக்டவுன் இருக்கிற டைம்ல நீங்களாம் ருசியான சாப்பாடு சொல்றீங்க. I can't even come to your home for lunch. Chow chow is one of my favorites. Cabbage பொரியல் and potato fry. Maybe I should do palak paneer later. Just to boost my iron. There's 13 people. Pooja, you have to give me green light when you want me to start, then I can start. Day number 2 of lockdown. நீங்கெல்லாம் என்ன பண்றீங்க? Of course, இப்ப என்னோட கதையை கேட்க வந்திருக்கீங்க. வேற என்ன பண்றீங்க லாக்டவுன்ல? I'm watching all the drama serials, movie. I'm watching a Turkish drama at the moment. Oh my God, Pooja, brown rice. Oh wow. Cabbage, beans. Wow, lockdownல எல்லாரும் நிறைய சமைக்கிறீங்க. Oh my God. Parcel. If you can send me parcel, you all should send me parcel. Yes. என்னோட ஃபேவரட்டும் கூட பாலக் பன்னீர். So அது அப்புறமா நீங்க உங்க கூட எல்லாம் பேசிட்டு தான் I have to make பாலக் பன்னீர். So I can eat it for dinner. Pooja, you let me know. Okay, 2 minutes more. Okay. So மக்களே, 2 minutes I'll start blabbering. Um, அது மட்டும் let me know. What have you planned for the lockdown? I'm not working these 7 days. அதனால நான் வந்து எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஃபேவரட்டான ஒரு டர்க்கிஷ் ட்ராமா அந்த ட்ராமா ஆக்சுவலாக டிவியில் 3 years ஓடித்து but I'm hoping to see them all in the next 5 days. So I'm going to binge watch the drama. எஸ் சாந்தி நானும் வந்து லெஃப்ட் ஓவர் சாப்பிட்ற கேஸ் தான் எனக்கு வீக்கெண்ட் வீக் டே கிடையாது பட் ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் நிறைய பேர் நீங்க வேலை பார்க்குறீங்க அதனால யூ ஹாவ் டு குக் லேவிஷிங்லி ஆன் அ வீக்கெண்ட் எனக்கு வீக் டே பிகாஸ் ஐ ஒர்க் 7 days a week அதனால எனக்கு எங்கெங்க டைம் கிடைக்குமா யூஸ்வலி ஐ ஸ்டார்ட் குக்கிங் at 10 p.m. I finish by 11:30 அது வந்து எனக்கு ஒரு 3 days I make sure it lasts me for 3 to 4 days. You're right, Umar. It's only in the lockdown actually. நீங்க வந்து நிறைய புது ரெசிபி புது சமையல்லாம் லாக்டவுன்ல தான் நீங்க ட்ரை பண்ணலாம் பிகாஸ் அதை நீங்க தான் சாப்பிட்டாகணும். You cannot give it to anybody else. So it's kind of good, but it's also a punishment. ஐயோ அந்த டர்க்கிஷ் ட்ராமாவோட பேரை வந்து நான் ப்ரொனவுன்ஸ் பண்றதுக்குள்ள ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் பூஜா நான் வேணா I'll send it on WhatsApp to you. It's but the hero, oh my God, the main king in the drama serial is just stunning. நான் ஆக்சுவலா பாக்குறது அவனுக்காக தான், not for any other reason. Um, Korean drama is also good, but I'm just not addicted to Korean drama yet. At the moment, I'm watching Turkish drama. It's about the Ottoman Empire. Sultan Suleiman's story. Um, so yeah, so I love their costumes, their music, the whole drama was done fantastic. என்னோட நிறைய friends are addicted to Korean dramas and they keep asking me to watch. So maybe Pooja, you have to give me recommendation for Korean drama. Looks like we Indians not watching Indian dramas anymore. Maybe you got enough drama at home. உங்கள எத்தனை பேர் இந்தியன் drama follow பண்றீங்க இன்னுமோ? Like Sun TV or Vijay TV. I never used to watch them, but I'm wondering if you all are watching it. Mainly, I use lockdown to reduce weight, tone. Um, you mean the Korean drama? Sandy, are you talking about the Korean drama? I mean, the Turkish drama, or you're talking about the Korean drama, Sandy? Pooja, you're right. It is an addiction. It's an addiction. I'm just addicted to those dramas. I'm just watching them. Valli, so I believe you're not watching any more Indian dramas. Me too. I don't. Oh my God, Sandy, you don't watch TV. Actually, you're right, Sandy. I never used to. I never used to watch it too. But now I think I've realized I have to watch. I made it a point every 45 minutes or 1 hour, I make sure I watch TV. Because TV, அங்க இருந்து இவ்வளோ வருஷமா நான் தூசி தான் தட்டிட்டு இருந்தேன் டிவிக்கு. I was not even watching the TV. I was just dusting the TV. uh, yeah, the Turkish drama you can watch with children, but if they don't the content is quite strong though. There's a bit of sexual like kissing scenes probably, but other than that there's nothing extraordinary, but it's a very strong plot. It's about betrayal. It's like a little Mahabharatam. The Turkish drama is like a little Mahabharatam. Betrayal, backstabbing, war, what happens within a palace in Turkey during the Ottoman time. That's what it is. TV is taken by kids. Great. Mom's life. We'll talk about all that in this 1 hour too. mom's life. You don't have TV, your bed is not yours. A lot of things don't belong to you after you become a mom. We used to take a lot of things from my mom, so I understand. So Pooja, நீங்க green signal கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா I will start. It's almost going to be 3:40. It's 10 minutes since we came live. Um, so hopefully we can start. Yeah, Indian dramas definitely no spice. There's no thrill. Um, they're not drawing you into the content. Yes, Shanti, you have to watch the Turkish drama, Korean. They kind of draw you into the story. I think Indian stories they don't. Let it be North Indian or South Indian, they just don't draw you into it. Okay, Pooja has given me the green signal to start. நான் கொஞ்சம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப கம்ஃபர்டபுள் இந்த மாதிரி டாபிக் பேசும்போது இங்கிலீஷ் ஏன் ரொம்ப கம்ஃபர்டபுள்னா மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த டைம் ஐ கிவ் ஒர்க் ஷாப் இன் இங்கிலீஷ் ஆனால் தமிழ் கண்டிப்பாக பேசணும்னு ப்ளீஸ் கமெண்ட் பிகாஸ் ஐ கேன் ஸ்விட்ச் டு போத் லாங்குவேஜஸ் சம்டைம்ஸ் ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக வரும் எனக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் பிகாஸ் இது அந்த டாபிக் எல்லாம் அதிலே பேசி பேசி ஸோ லெட் மீ நோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் த 17 of you who have come online. Sorry, yes, Viraginia Vanarsi, yes, I'm talking about that one. Yeah. So, okay, let's get to today's topic. I would love to welcome all the 19 of you. இந்த டைம்ல நீங்க எல்லாரும் வந்து ஆன்லைன் வந்திருக்கீங்க நிறைய பேர் எனக்கு பிரைவேட் மெசேஜ் அனுப்புனீங்க I feel so appreciated because there's a lot of problem out there அப்பனா உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஹெல்ப் நீங்க தேடி வந்திருக்கீங்க உங்களுக்கு இப்ப ஹெல்ப் தேவைங்கிறதுனால you've reached out. So I have to congratulate those who have PM me. அது வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் எதுவா இருந்தாலும் ஹெல்ப் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் ஸோ ஐ ரியலி அப்ரிஷியேட் யூ ஆஸ்கிங் ஃபார் ஹெல்ப் அண்ட் டுடே ஐவ் தாட் அபவுட் அ கப்புள் ஆஃப் எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் ஸோ எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு நான் சில எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி உங்களுக்கு நான் சில தியரி சொல்றேன் ஆனால் என்னோட தியரி எல்லாம் will be around the problem. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் கொஸ்டின் இருந்ததுன்னா ப்ளீஸ் டைப் இட் அண்ட் அதை வச்சுட்டு நான் உங்களுக்கு தியரி சொல்றேன் இந்த டாபிக்ல என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் என்ன பிரச்சனை இருக்கு அப்படின்னு நான் உங்களுக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். So, இன்னைக்கு வந்து an analysis of issues that impact our everyday life through the role we play in a family and a society. இதுதான் இன்னைக்கு நம்ம எடுத்துக்கிற டாபிக். இது ஏன்னா இது வந்து நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் பொருந்தும். ஸோ நம்ம எல்லாரும் வந்து நிறைய ரோல் எடுக்கிறோம். இப்போ நம்ம முதல்ல சாந்தி சொன்ன மாதிரி TV is no more mine. So you become a mom. Of course, we started as a daughter, as a sister. Sisterனா தங்கச்சி அக்கா both have different roles. And then you become a wife, and then you become a mother, daughter-in-law, then you become a mother-in-law. Sorry, you become a mother, then eventually some of you, I don't know if you're already a mother-in-law, some of you could be a grandma in this on this page, but anything, you're constantly evolving around so many people. ஆனா இதுல நான் முக்கியமா என்ன பேசணும்னா I want to talk about you. So இவ்வளவு ரோல் எடுக்கிறவங்க there is this main person, there is this main person which is you who's taking all this role. அப்ப நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும்னா first we want to look after you, solely you first, so you can look after other people through the roles you play in your everyday life. I hope I'm making a bit of sense because நிறைய பேர் சொல்லுவாங்க oh I have to look after my kids first, my kids come first, அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் நான் my husband comes first, then me. No, there is no such theory, there is no such rule. நீங்க இது உங்க எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும் நீங்களாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஏரோப்ளேன்ல ஏற போகும்போது உங்ககிட்ட மைக்ல என்ன சொல்றாங்க especially when they're teaching you how to save yourself in the case of emergency, put the mask on yourself first and then put it to others. You always have to look after yourself, so you should be in a good condition to look after someone else. நீங்க உங்களை அப்படியே you're not a candlelight, yeah, you're not a candlelight to melt yourself to give light to the world. I don't need that light. I like you to be looking after yourself and then give light to, maybe we call it street light. I don't want you to be a candle, still give light, but be like a street light. You don't have to burn yourself down to give light. அது வந்து இன்னைக்கு வந்து I want to make it a clear point, so everybody's take home message will be that look after yourself and then look after everybody around you. Enaka, when you look after yourself, you can look after everybody a bit more longer and better instead of just torturing yourself, neglecting yourself, and then looking after others. Okay. இன்னைக்கு 4 டாபிக் நான் எடுத்திருக்கேன் பேசுறதுக்கு. ஒன்று வந்து என்னோட ரொம்ப க்ளோஸ் டு ஹார்ட் which is neurological disorders. நிறைய பேர் நீங்க வந்து இதை டிக் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்க. அஃப்கோர்ஸ் எனக்கு அதுக்கு ரீசன் தெரியாது because you didn't give the reason. ஆனா உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச யாரோ ஒருத்தர் இந்த நியூரலாஜிக்கல் டிசார்டரால ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணலாம். இல்ல இப்ப புதுசா டயக்னோஸ் ஆயிருக்கலாம், இல்ல உங்க வீட்லயே கூட உங்களுக்கு குழந்தையோ இல்ல ஒரு சிப்ளிங்கோ நியூரலாஜிக்கல் டிசார்டர்ல வந்து அஃபெக்டட் ஆயிருக்கலாம். அடுத்த டாபிக் வந்து I'm just prioritizing a bit here. Teenage parenting. அதுக்கு நிறைய ரிக்வெஸ்ட் வந்தது. டீனேஜ் பேரண்டிங் இது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு டாபிக். இது வந்து நான் இன்னைக்கு ஃபுல்லா கூட பேசலாம். ஏன்னா நம்ம வந்து ஒரு நாட்டுல இருந்து இன்னொரு நாட்டுக்கு இடம்பெயர்ந்து வந்திருக்கோம். அப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்னா நம்மளோட கல்ச்சரையும் கூட்டிட்டு வரோம். இருக்கிற ஊர்லயும் நீங்க செட் ஆகணும். பட் தென் யூ ஸ்ட்ரகிளிங் இன் பிட்வீன். நீங்களே ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்றீங்க. அப்ப இங்க பொறந்து வளர்ந்த உங்க பசங்க, இல்ல இங்க சின்ன வயசுல வந்த உங்க பசங்க எவ்வளவு ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணுவாங்கன்னு நம்ம கொஞ்சம் யோசிக்கணும். ஸோ அதெல்லாம் நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போறோம். ஆனா நான் சின்ன வயசு பசங்க ஓரளவுக்கு நம்ம மோல் பண்றது வேற விஷயம். அவங்க டீனேஜர் ஆகி ஹை ஸ்கூலுக்கு போகும்போது அதை மோல் பண்ணும்போது இட்ஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்லி டிஃப்ரெண்ட். ஸோ அவங்க எப்படி மாறுறாங்களோ அந்த மாதிரி நீங்களும் மாற போறீங்கிறத தான் அதுல வந்து I'm going to talk. The next one is rewiring of brain. This is something very close to my heart too. Rewiring of brain na you're just being an electrician. So நிறைய பேர் என்கிட்ட கேட்பாங்க, Anpa, what's your job? No, I just tell them electrician. And then they look at me, what? I said, yeah, I just rewire the brain. Rewiring the brain is a lot more easier than hitting someone. So it's just a positive approach that you would do just to make them திங்க் இன் அ டிஃப்ரெண்ட் வே. ஒரே ஒரு பொருளை வந்து இப்ப நீங்க வந்து இந்த கோணத்துல இருந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களை அப்படியே தூக்கி அங்க உட்கார வச்சு அந்த கோணத்துல இருந்து பார்க்க வைக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்லாம டு மேக் யூ பிலீவ் தட்ஸ் த ரைட் ஆங்கிள், அதுதான் கரெக்டானது. இப்ப நான் வந்து லெட்ஸ் சே கத்திரிக்காய் வந்து இவ்வளவு பெருசு வெட்டுறேன்னா அதுதான் உங்களோட ட்ரெடிஷனா இருந்திருக்கும், அதான் கரெக்டா இருந்திருக்கும். யூ பிலீவ் இன் இட். பட் ஐ வில் ஹாவ் டு மேக் யூ பிலீவ் இத்துக்கோண்டு வெட்டுறது தான் கரெக்ட். அதுதான் மீன்ஸ் எப்படி நீங்க இவ்வளவு பெருசா வெட்டினா கரெக்ட்னு நீங்க நினைக்கிறீங்களோ அதே மாதிரி I have to make you think confidently. யார் வந்தாலும் they cannot change you. So I'm going to make you rethink the size of that brinjal piece. அதுக்கப்புறம் no one will change you because I've already rewired your brain. Again, of course, somebody can do the same approach and make you think in a different way. அதுதான் rewiring. So how are you going to rethink something in the same thing but in a different way? பிஹேவியரல் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இது வந்து எங்க வேணாலும் பொருந்தும். பிஹேவியரல் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட்னா நீங்க வேலைக்கு போறீங்க, உங்க ஒரு கொலிக்கு ஒருத்தவங்க இருப்பாங்க, நீங்க சொல்லுவீங்க, ஓ மை காட் ஷீ இஸ் சச் a bitch. நம்ம வெளியே ஓப்பனா சொல்லலாம் கூட காதுல நிறைய வாட்டி உங்களுக்கு கேட்டிருக்கோம், ஓ மை காட் இஃப் ஒன்லி ஐ குட் கில் சம்படி. இதெல்லாம் நீங்க நிறைய வாட்டி சொல்லிருப்பீங்க. ஏன்? யூ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் டு டூ ஆல் ஆஃப் தோஸ் திங்ஸ். யூ ஜஸ்ட் கோயிங் டு பி ஸ்மார்ட், யூ கோயிங் டு ஆக்ட் ஸ்மார்ட் அண்ட் யூ ஜஸ்ட் கோயிங் டு ஓவர்கம் இட். ஸோ இந்த பிஹேவியரல் வந்து நம்ம பிஹேவியரல் இல்ல, அடுத்தவங்க பிஹேவியரல், நமக்கு சம்மந்தமே இல்லாதவங்க ஒருத்தவங்க பிஹேவியரோ மீன்ஸ் இன்டைரக்ட். டைரக்டா தான் ஒருத்தவங்க உங்களை எஃபெக்ட் பண்ணணும்னு கிடையாது. இன்டைரக்டா இந்த பெண்டமிக்னால நம்மள இன்டைரக்டா எவ்வளவோ அஃபெக்டட் ஆயிருக்கும். அது வந்து ஒரு குட் எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஸோ இன்டைரக்ட்லி யூ பீங் அஃபெக்டட் also could cause you a lot of problem because we'll get absorbed into the energy. நம்ம ரொம்ப psychological affect ஆகும். அப்ப நம்ம வீட்ல இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு என்ன ஆகுமோ? So we bring that negative energy or that sorrow energy into your home and then you start spreading it. இப்ப நம்ம வீட்ல இருக்கா, ஐயோ நம்ம அப்பா அங்க இருக்கா, நம்ம அம்மா. So you start thinking, so they have actually affected you indirectly. So அந்த மாதிரி behavioral management. So அவங்கள எப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்றது? இதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு யாராவது ஃபோன் பண்ணி பேசுவாங்க, ஏன்னா எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கு, கேனா அவங்ககிட்ட you have to help them, but how to draw a line. You sympathize but you don't empathize with them. So இதெல்லாம் வந்து it's a line that you'll have to learn to draw. அப்போ அந்த behavioral management, let's say even your husband, maybe இன்னைக்கு டாபிக்கு அப்புறம் maybe you all know how to deal with most of your husband's forgetfulness, them pretending not to know a lot of things. You'll know how to deal with them. It's a very easy format. But உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது, as I said, specific question இருக்கு, please feel free to put on the message box there. So let me start with neurological disorder. So I've given you an overview. So let me move to neurological disorder. Neurological developmental disorder. இது வந்து ஏன் காஸ் ஆகுது, எதனால ஆகுதுன்னு இன்னும் ரிசர்ச்சர்ஸ் கண்டுபிடிக்கல. ஆனா there's a lot of speculation, like through research there's a lot of course ஒன்னு வந்து it's heredity. நம்ம குடும்பத்துல யாருக்கோ, அதாவது ஹஸ்பண்டுக்கு தான் இருக்கணும், இல்ல அதாவது ஃபாதருக்கு தான் இருக்கணும், மதருக்கு தான் இருக்கணும்னு ஒரு அவசியமே கிடையாது. கிராண்ட் பேரண்ட்ஸுக்கு இருக்கலாம், கிரேட் பேரண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கலாம், ஆனா அவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் மைல்டா இருந்திருக்கலாம், ரொம்ப சின்ன ஒரு அளவுல இருந்திருக்கலாம். அது நாளடைவில் வந்து இட் பில்ஸ் ஆன் அண்ட் ஃபோர்த் ஜெனரேஷன். அந்த ஃபோர்த் ஜெனரேஷன் உங்க குழந்தையா இருக்கலாம். அப்போ அந்த குழந்தைக்கு வந்து இட் கம்ஸ் இன் இன்டென்ஸ் வே. அதாவது அது பெரிய மிகைப்படுத்தின ஒரு அளவுல வந்து இந்த குழந்தைக்கு வந்திருக்கலாம், பிகாஸ் இட்ஸ் a கேரி ஓவர் ஃப்ரம் ஜெனரேஷன். ஆனா அதே சமயம் முன்ன யாருக்கோ ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருந்திருக்கலாம், ஆனா இப்ப அது மைல்டா கூட இருக்கலாம், பிகாஸ் யூ மேரிங் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பீப்புள், டிஃப்ரெண்ட் காம்பினேஷன். அதுல வந்து எஸ் உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம். இட்ஸ் a ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம். ஸோ 0 to 100. ஸோ அந்த 0 to 100ல எங்க வேணாலும் இருக்கலாம். 0ங்கிறது வந்து இட்ஸ் த லோவஸ்ட் பீட். தட் மீன்ஸ் தே ஆர் மைல்ட் ஆட்டிஸ்டிக். ஆனா ஆட்டிஸ்டிக்ங்கிறது ஒரு நியூரலாஜிக்கல் டிஸார்டர் தான். ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் த செட்ஸ் ஆஃப் நியூரலாஜிக்கல் டிஸார்டர்ஸ் யூ கேன் கெட். ASD is the biggest one, which is autism spectrum disorder. ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. ADD, attention deficit disorder. இதெல்லாம் நான் மெதுவா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். இது எல்லாத்துக்கும் என்னென்ன டிஃபரன்ஸ்னு. OCD, in the OCD it doesn't completely come under neurological disorder. However, it will always come with ASD or ADHD. They come together. இன்னொன்னு வந்து anxiety. Little depression can be found in these children, so not always. But I'm not talking about neurological children. I'm talking about children who's got neurological disorder. Sometimes you can see depression if they're not coping with certain things. ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. அதை எடுக்காதனா அவங்க எடுப்பாங்க. I'm talking about clinical, not talking about, let's say, your kid, அது அங்க வையினா they won't keep. அந்த மாதிரி நான் OCD defiant சொல்லல. This is really, it's a disorder. It's a clinical level disorder. So I've said ASD, ADHD, ADD, ODD, GDD, global developmental delay. That means every development in your body is super delayed, from like eating to growing to let's say walking, your gross motor, your fine motor. அதான சொன்னேன், நம்ம எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணா நான் நிறைய எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணலாம். ஃபைன் மோட்டோனா anything you do with your little this bit, but இது develop ஆகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி you develop your gross motors first. அதனால தான் you will see once the children start crawling, they crawl, they just keep walking, they keep climbing, because their gross motors have to develop. But on the sensory process, on the 0 to 6 months or even 8 months பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, they do a lot of sensory intake, crawling, creeping, they start putting things in the mouth. அதெல்லாமே sensory intake, because your brain need to understand the external environment by doing all of those things. அதனால தான் children are actually good suckers, because as soon as they're born, you actually don't really teach them to suck. They kind of know how to suck, because that's their first sensory. And they are always water babies. When they are in your womb, they are constantly swimming, so they are aware that they're actually naturally good swimmers. நம்ம இந்தியன்ஸ் தான் வந்து அவனுக்கு 3 வயசாகட்டும் 4 5 6 வயசாகட்டும்னு ஸ்விம்மிங்ல போடுறீங்க. Not. If they are 6 months, you can put the float in their hand, you can throw in the water, they will know how to swim, because their brain is wired to swim. So there I'm talking about brain being wired. Their brain is already wired to suck to survive, to swim to survive. So if you are pregnant, if you're a pregnant mom listening to this, your baby is 6 months, take them to swimming. They know how to float, they know how to swim, they're survivors. Yeah, and the surviving skill தான் நம்ம சொல்லி கொடுக்கிறது கிடையாது. So that's a good survival skill for you to take home today. So ASD தான் ஆஸ்திரேலியால மட்டும் இல்ல, around the world the biggest number that you see. So biggest number, now that's probably why you get a lot of funding. So not necessarily children are actually having ASD, but because there's a lot of funding, a lot of research goes through. இதெல்லாம் வந்து behind work. So நிறைய research நடக்கிறதுனால என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, they keep becoming more aware the symptoms of ASD, and they start to understand how to identify it at an earlier stage. முன்னெல்லாம் எனக்கு clients வந்தாங்கன்னா 6 வயசு தான் இருக்கும், 5 வயசு இருக்கும். இப்பெல்லாம் 2.5, 2, sometimes 1.5ல எங்களுக்கு வந்து ASD அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு டயக்னோஸ் பண்ணி பசங்க வராங்க. Of course, அதுக்கு completely different treatment. So people are getting better at identifying the symptoms at an earlier stage. முன்னெல்லாம் வந்து it's actually illegal to even label, like identify them ASD before 6 years of age. So anyway, so autism spectrum disorderக்கு வந்து நிறைய symptoms இருக்கு. என்னென்ன symptomனா, they usually do a lot of flapping. There's no social interactions. There's no social, like they just can't socialize with people. The people are very aversive, except for the one who can feed them. அவங்களுக்கு சாப்பாடு கொடுக்குறவங்க, தண்ணி கொடுக்குறவங்க, குளிப்பாட்டுறவங்க, ட்ரெஸ் போட்டு விடுறவங்க, அவங்கள நல்லா பார்த்துக்கக்கூடிய ஒருத்தவங்கள வந்து தான் அவங்க ரிலேட் பண்ணுவாங்களே தவிர வேற யாரையும் அவங்களால ரிலேட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸுங்கிறது டோட்டலி அவுட். அவங்க வயசு பசங்க கூட அவங்க கண்டிப்பா விளையாட மாட்டாங்க. ஐ கான்டாக்ட், சில பசங்களுக்கு ஐ கான்டாக்ட் இருக்கும், doesn't mean they're not ASD. They could be ASD. ஆனா majority of the time eye contact இருக்காது, because it's an aversive feeling for them. So உங்களுக்கு அவங்க eye contact கொடுக்கும்போது it's very weird feeling for them. They're very uncomfortable. So sometimes if your children are struggling to give you eye contact, please don't do the Indian style. இப்ப எங்க அம்மாலாம் சொல்லுவாங்க, என்னோட கண்ணை பார்த்து பேசு அப்படின்வாங்க. But thank God I'm not on the spectrum, but they think it's rude. என்ன பார்த்து பேச மாட்டேன் எனக்கு, because sometimes your kid could be having eye contact aversion. So it's something you could maybe look into why they're feeling that way, or they're uncomfortable. I know if people don't give you eye contact, it's a signal they're not comfortable about something. So it's good you open up a conversation and have a chat with them. Is there something not right? You know what it could be doing. Sorry, Janani, I don't understand. Did you say it isn't helpful or it is helpful? I'm just not understanding that bit of the message. Yeah. So eye contact, they definitely ரொம்ப மினிமலான ஒரு eye contact. இன்னொன்று வந்து எஸ் எஸ் ஐ செட் நிறைய ஓவர் பிஹேவியர்ஸ்னா உங்களுக்கு பார்க்கும் போதே தெரியும் இந்த பையன் ரொம்ப வியர்டா இருக்கானே. நீங்க ஷாப்பிங் சென்டர்ல நிறைய பார்ப்பீங்க. இந்த டைம்ல நான் ஒன்னே தான் கேட்டுப்பேன். எல்லா ஒர்க் ஷாப் நான் நடத்தும் போது ஐ ஒன்லி ஆஸ்க் ஒன் திங், டு நாட் ஸ்டேர் அட் தம். எனக்கு தெரியும் அது ரொம்ப டெம்டிங்கா இருக்கும் சம்டைம்ஸ். லைக் ஏன் இந்த பையன் இப்படி பண்றான், இந்த பொண்ணு ஏன் இப்படி பண்ணுது, கியூரியஸா இருக்கும். அடால்ட்ஸ் கூட நீங்க பார்த்திருப்பீங்க, தே நாட் கிரேசி எனி திங். அ லாட் ஆஃப் தம் time வந்து they are not identified as they are on the spectrum, which is so sad. Mental, oh he's flashing, he's opening up his top னு நம்ம கிட்ட காட்டுறான் அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு police sometimes they drag them. Most of the time they are on the spectrum. Like எனக்கு ரோட்ல பார்க்கும்போது I know how many people actually on the spectrum. என்னோட colleagues எவ்வளவு பேர் on the spectrum னு எனக்கு தெரியும். I actually dated two guys who were on the spectrum. That's their history. I didn't go any further with them. You will straight away pick up, like, oh my God. But you just don't stare at them. If the parents need help, let's say you'll see the parents struggling and the trolley தள்ளுவாங்க, அந்த பையன் வந்து பொண்ணு வந்து they will be just screaming and yelling because they're not coping with the shopping center. They don't cope with sound. Sometimes they don't cope with too many people around. They don't cope with lights. எனக்கு தெரியும் நம்ம குரூப்ல நிறைய occupational therapists இருக்காங்க. They could probably also run a session next time to actually explain to you what is sensory integration dysfunction. So அவங்களுக்கு senses are just not communicating. The brain is no more taking information from outside to give the brain to process. So they're just struggling. அதனால இந்த overt behaviors, பாரு என் பிள்ளை எப்படி வளர்த்துருக்காங்க. No, the kid is actually not coping. So the parent is helpless, just like all of us. They don't know what to do. Either அவங்களுக்கு therapy இருக்காது, they don't even know the child is on spectrum. Because நானே நிறைய கிளைண்ட்ஸ்ட போகும்போது பேரண்ட்ஸ் சென்டர் ஓப்பனா சொல்லுவாங்க, can you please don't let anybody know my child is on the spectrum because it's a hush hush. பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க மதர் இன்லாக்கே தெரிஞ்சிருக்காது அவங்க பையனுக்கு பேரப்பிள்ளைக்கு வந்து ஏஎஸ்டி இருக்குன்னு. அப்ப என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க தெரியுமா, ஒரு ஐபேட கையில கொடுத்து அவனுக்கு யாரு கூடயுமே பேசுறதுக்கு இஷ்டம் இருக்காது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிடுவாங்க. பிகாஸ் அவன் ஐபேட்ல இருக்கனால இன்னொன்னும் அவன் வந்து ஆஸ்திரேலியன் கிட், அவன் ஐபேட்ல தான் இருப்பான். ஸோ தே கவர் அப். பட் த கொஸ்டின் இஸ், ஹேவ் தே ஹெல்ப் த கிட்? நோ. என்ன கேட்டீங்கன்னா, இட்ஸ் குட் இஃப் யூ கேன் ஜஸ்ட் லெட் எவ்ரிபடி நோ மை சைல்ட் இஸ் ஆன் த ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம், திஸ் இஸ் ஹவ் இட் இஸ், யூ ஹேவ் டு அக்செப்ட் திஸ் இஸ் ஹவ் வி ஆர். If they're not calling you for birthday party, just get rid of them. But if you can help your child to become independent in the long run, நம்ம எல்லாரும் வந்து இப்ப இன்னைக்கு தூங்குனா நாளைக்கு ஏந்திரிப்போமான்னு நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியாது. அத மைண்ட்ல வச்சுட்டு you want that kid to be independent. So நம்ம இல்லைனாலும் can that child surviveங்கிறது தான் உங்க கொஸ்டின். அதனால யாருக்கு சொல்லணுமோ just tell them, because நீங்க அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டா தான் people will accept your child that way. It's accepting. We are not changing the kid, we're accepting the kid. So ASD, ADHD இந்த எல்லா டிஸார்டருக்கும் கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரே மாதிரியான சிம்டம்ஸ் தான் உங்களுக்கு வரும். ஆனா இதுல மைன்யூட் சேஞ்சஸ் என்னன்னாக்கா, ASDக்கும் ADHDக்கும் இருக்கிற டிஃபரன்ஸ் என்னன்னா, ADHD they are very hyper. Hyper na, I'm talking about super hyper. I'm not talking about your 2-year-old running around. 2-year-old run around பண்ணலனா something is seriously wrong. அதே சமயம் if it's a 6 to 7-year-old is constantly jumping, or even a 4-year-old constantly jumping, flapping, and just can't sit in a place. You can see them fidgeting all the time. They'll be moving like this all the time, or they'll just always want to do something. They're pulling something, they're running around somewhere. They're constantly physically engaging because they got too much explosion of energy within them. That will be considered as ADHD. அந்த மாதிரி அவ்வளோ ஹைப்பரா இருக்கிறதுனால attention கண்டிப்பா இருக்காது, because they cannot sit and focus, because their body constantly moves them, pushes them to go and do something physical. So they have to physically go and do something. Yeah, that's ADHD. ADD, attention deficit disorder. So ADHD க்கும் ADD க்கும் ஒரே ஒரு லெட்டர் தான் H, but they are miles apart. They got nothing to do with each other. Attention deficit disorderங்கிறது வந்து the attention is probably close to zero. Yeah, so close to zero mother, they will look at it, but they're not looking at it. They're seeing through that whole paper. They're just looking through that page. They're just always in a la la land. They're always in a dreamland. ASDU, they space out. ADHDU space out. ADDU, they space out. இப்ப நீங்களும் நானுமே ஸ்பேஸ் அவுட் பண்ணலாம். இப்ப நான் பேசிட்டு இருக்கும்போது எவ்வளவு பேர் ஸ்பேஸ் ஆயிருக்கீங்கன்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. ஆனா you can space out. Ana, you can come back. You can snap and you can come back. ADD cannot. You need to help them to come back because they're stuck in that space wherever they are. They're stuck. They have the difficulty to come back. Definitely somebody has asked me best therapy for speeches. So speeches, it's a range as well. Enna speech. So speech delay irukku, speech disorder irukku. Modala you need to know. So Vinitha, you have to understand first. அது வந்து speech delay, speech disorder. Speech delay na எந்த அளவுக்கு speech delay. So is it mild, moderate or severe? இந்த question எல்லாம் கேட்டீங்கன்னா தான் you can actually get the right therapy. Disorder naka, that's a couple of disorders you'll get. So sometimes அவங்களுக்கு வந்து processing motor processing இருக்கும். So motor processing na this cheek muscles and everything got to coordinate first for you to produce. So the brain has to tell every beat of your body before it can produce a speech. இப்போ நான் jet speed la பேசிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். You can imagine how fast my brain is actually working. Children on the spectrum, it doesn't work that way. It works very slow. So you can see நான் இப்போ இவ்வளவு நேரம் பேசுனதுக்கும் இவ்வளோ நேரம் நான் பேசுறதுக்கும் நிறைய this is exactly what's happening in their brain. So you can probably see the big difference. நம்ம அவசரத்துக்கு அவங்களை அவசரப்படுத்தணும்னா what happens is they either get very stressed and they get into anxiety or they start stammering. If a child who can speak normal even though it's little, if they're stammering, they are anxious. They're anxious already. சொல்லு நான் தான் சொல்றேனே அதை சொல்லு if you keep the because the brain has to work in its own speed. நம்ம அவ்வளோ புஷ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா they're going to struggle. அப்போ like best therapy for speeches naka speech therapists will give you, but இந்த இப்ப நான் சொன்ன criteria பொறுத்து தான் they'll have to give you. That's again, as I said, that's another big topic, but I'm happy to privately Facebook message you to give you a bit more detail if there's a very specific question. இன்னொன்று வந்து ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. This is again, they are just rebellious. They're just rebellious and they just cannot do what you tell them. It's not just not doing what you ask them to do. Yeah, it's a difference. இப்போ நீ அங்க போன let's say if you say, okay, let me give you this example. Can you bring a cup of tea? They don't bring. That's called non-compliance. They don't bring you a cup of tea. Sorry, இந்த டப்பாவை எடுத்து மேல வைன்னு சொல்லும்போது they'll deliberately take and put it down. That's oppositional. So I hope I've made a clear distinction. Can you bring me the paper? They won't bring. It's compliance. They're just being, sorry, I'm not listening to you. ஆனா இந்த பேப்பரை தூக்கி அங்க வைன்னு சொல்லும்போது அங்க வைக்காம அங்க வைக்கிறாங்க பாருங்க, இல்ல இதை தூக்கி கபட்ல வைனா குப்பத்தம்பல போடுறாங்க. They will do exactly the opposite just to annoy you or to get a reaction out of you, or it gives them a kick and they can take it to a next level. ஆனா அதே சமயம் it's got to be clinical before we can say it's oppositional defiant disorder. Disorderக்கு there's certain criteria for them to qualify. Of course நீங்க வீட்ல நிறைய பாப்பீங்க, டீனேஜர் கிட்ட இதை நிறைய பாப்பீங்க, but that doesn't mean they're ODD. That's just some hormone and that's just a teenager phase. Yeah, other when I come to teenage parenting, I'll probably cover that a bit. And the other thing with so I've covered ASD, ADHD, ODD, ADD, GDD. Global developmental delayங்கிறது வந்து it's a total delay. ரொம்ப severe இருக்கிற பசங்க வந்து they usually in the bed. They don't really move around because even their gross motor is delayed. ஆனா கொஞ்சம் moderate இருக்கிறவங்க இல்ல split delay இருக்கிறவங்க, that means maybe it's just the gross motor. Most of the time பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க gross motor and fine motor தான் huge delay with cognition. Speech கூட நல்லாவே இருக்கும், eye contact நல்லா இருக்கும், they'll be very social, yeah, but depending on where they're sitting on the spectrum beat. So 0 to 100 னு நான் சொன்னேன். ASDங்கிறது வந்து it doesn't come alone, but ASD is the biggest umbrella, which is the big umbrella. So ASD either comes with ADD or ADHD or ODD or OCD or anxiety or GDD. So ASD will not come alone. உங்களுக்கு எப்பவுமே diagnosis கொடுக்கும்போது ASD மட்டும்தான் கொடுப்பாங்க, because they don't look into other things because it will just hide under ASD. No, இப்போ எங்களை மாதிரி behavioral therapist அந்த மாதிரி வரும்போது அப்ப நாங்க சொல்லுவோம், no, that kid got an underlying issue, it's a hidden disorder. So ADHD எங்களுக்கு தெரியும், it's ASD or something that's hiding underneath. Over time அது prevalent வரலாம் அப்போ அந்த செகண்டா இருக்கிற diagnosis will come up as they grow older. If not, it's always hiding underneath. So எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஒரு client வந்து purely ASD தான் up to the age of 6. And then from the age of 6, அப்ப நான் parent சொன்னா I can see a bit of OCD hiding. There's a little there, so we'll have to start treating it before it becomes big. So we started working on it. But now the ASD bit goes hiding under the OCD. OCD has become big. So now we only solely do OCD treatment. We don't do ASD treatment because you can see how along the year it's evolved and OCD has become more prevalent than ASD. So அதனால யாராரு பசங்க நீங்க neurological disorderல பசங்க வீட்ல வச்சிருக்கீங்களோ you will have to look into that bit too. Of course, I'm not telling you every therapist who walk through the door will know that the kid got an underlying second diagnosis. Those who are really well experienced will tell you. And hospital, most of the time, pediatrician might have a chat with you. He looks a bit like hyper as well. And in the modern world, whenever you say hyper, the first thing they give you is a medication. When you are prescribed a medication by a pediatrician, I don't know if there's any pediatrician in this group. Parents need to remember, you are the advocate for your children. So நீங்க advocate na, you are allowed to go and do research on the medication. But pediatrician சொல்லிட்டாரு, he's a doctor. How can I challenge him? No. You are the advocate for your children. So whatever your children is going to take, it's all in your hands. So you have to think through before you administer medication. எனக்கு ஒரு டாக்டர் தெரியும், I'm not going to mention the name. அவருக்கு வந்து வேலையே வந்து to give medication. Oh, hyper, take it and go. எழுதி எல்லாருக்கும் லைக் இன்னும் மகாராஜாலாம் வந்து காசு வீசுவாங்கல்ல என்னமே எடுத்துட்டு போங்க அந்த மாதிரி he just gives prescriptions just free, just எடுத்துக்கங்க. And when I go in for therapy, I asked, that client was 2.5 years of age, she's just a toddler. She was on XX medication, 2.5 mg, which is a very high dose for a 2.5-year-old girl. I asked the mom, what is the reason for giving this medication? அப்ப என்கிட்ட அவங்க ஒரு பேப்பர் கொடுக்குறாங்க, ஒரு டாக்டரோட பேப்பர். When I read the pediatrician paper, my heart just stopped. He wrote that the child has aggressive behavior, therefore this medicine has been administered. அப்ப I've asked the mom, what is aggressive behavior? Can you show me? காட்டுறாங்க, அந்த பொண்ணு tantrum throw பண்ணுது. The girl is throwing tantrum. So I don't understand why a doctor would say that's aggressive behavior when a 2.5-year-old will throw tantrum. But she was on a very high dose. Unfortunately, fortunately, I told the mom she has to stop the medication. And the girl is fine. There's no difference. Yeah. I'm just going to take a little break, ladies. Sorry, because my battery is running low. I forgot to put it on charge. So just give me 1 minute while you all are chatting on the chat box, because I can see a couple of you asking for speech and stuff. So keep chatting around it, but I'll come back once I put the laptop on charge. I'll come back to you. Just give me a minute. Okay, sorry for the disruption, ladies. I am back. So those of you having children with neurological disorder, it's okay to give medication sometimes, not all the time. You'll have to go and do your own research. Certain medication when the natural side effect but if you look it up, there's a lot of psychotic. Neriya doctors end up anti-psychotic medication children without explaining to the parents. Of course, they're authorized to give it, but whether and some medication actually is banned in US and UK. India, but then I can see a lot of pediatricians are giving. So the only thing I would say is go and do research before you administer any medication. Always try out non-pharmacological before you go into medication. Yeah. So with neurological disorders, so the last thing I need to explain with that one is 0 to 100. 0 being very, very mild. So 50 is you're kind of in the moderate. When you go towards the 100, you're on a severe beat. So wherever they are sitting, அந்த மாதிரி அதை பொறுத்து தான் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் இருக்கும். அவங்க எவ்வளவு செவியரா இருக்காங்க இல்ல. செவியரா இருக்கிற முக்காசி பசங்களுக்கு வந்து சென்சரி இன்டிகிரேஷன் டிஸ்ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஹையா இருக்கும். because that means their senses not communicating with the external world. So they just don't understand what is this light. They feel something is splashing. இப்போ உங்களை ஒரு ரூம்ல if you remember 80s எல்லாம் ரஜினிகாந்த் கமலஹாசன் மூவிஸ்ல எல்லாம் வரும். They push you into a room, they flash a lot of light and people go like crazy and then they try to torture you. That's how the kids feel. Oh my God, that's a good example. Yeah, if you remember those Kamal Rajini's movie in 80s, so if they think they want to punish somebody, they throw into a light room. That's how the kids actually, they're actually struggling with a lot of light. So you can imagine what they're going through in a shopping center. Yeah, so but it's you eventually want to take them to the shopping center, but adukla therapy irukku how you would actually take them. So naanga vandu we do step by step before we take them to the shopping center. There's a lot of things we do at home before we take them there. Yes, that's right. Vinarasi, you are right, correct. Because tantrum ko அக்ரேஷனுக்கும் நிறைய டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்கு. அதான் சொன்னேன், என்னோட டிக்ஷனரியில் அக்ரேஷன் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீங்களா அழுவீங்க. I just don't, even aggression is not aggression for me because there is a reason why they're aggressive. So you need to tackle the root problem. And the root problem நீங்க கண்டுபிடிச்சீங்கன்னா you can always deal with the aggression or tantrum. So yeah, I don't think so medication is the, unless, so ADHD ki yes, unless the chemical reaction is over way too much that the kid's actually really struggling, excuse me, then you would put on medication. Otherwise, no. ASD ki kudave, no, you will have to work on a lot of, you need to do a lot of therapy. Is melatonin good for sleep issues for kids? Prescribed pediatrician? Yes. So melatonin is, yeah, they call it natural and stuff. You want your brain to rest இல்லையா? உங்களுக்கு வந்து பசங்க தூங்கணும், you want the kid to sleep, you need the brain to rest because brain rest பண்ணலனா it'll eventually you go into seizure and other stuff, and brain develop பண்ணாதான் you can do a lot of things functionally. So அதனால melatonin is good, I'm not saying it's not, but you do not want the kid to be dependent on melatonin at the end of the day. அப்போ அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்னா you have to do sleep routine. So again, I can privately message you to talk that through. So it's called sleep routine, which will come under the rewiring of brain. Maybe Vasanthi, what I could do on the rewiring portion பேசும்போது I will talk about sleep. So how you rewiring the brain to sleep on its own rather than waiting for melatonin to come in. So in the மாதிரி என்னோட clients எல்லாரையும் I've taken off melatonin. Some I still had to keep because they've got a severe problem, but eventually we take them out. We completely take them out because we changed the sleep routine. But என்னோட எந்த சக்சஸ் இருந்தாலும் பெரிய success is parent. If they're not consistent and confident and they don't trust me, very difficult to do it. Because நான் night duty பார்க்க போறது கிடையாது. Of course, there's some families I do go for sleepover where I literally have to do the sleep routine. Some families, no, we don't have to because the parents are spot on. They just, they will just do everything I ask them to do. Bang. Within 2 to 3 months, sleep issue is gone, melatonin is gone, everybody is happy, they move on. ஆனா நீங்க ஏதாவது எங்கேயாவது halfway change பண்ணி consistent இல்லாம இருந்தா the sleep problem comes back. You always have to remember, problems can come back if you're not consistent. It's so at the moment, Vasanthi, it's okay to give, but we will talk more. I'm happy to chat with you if you're going to private message me, just to understand how long, what is the sleep pattern. Every 2 hours எந்திக்கிற கிட்டா இருந்தா நீங்க கொடுத்துதாகணும். இப்போ இல்ல just one time they're waking up or they're having a short sleep rather than 10 hours straight, they're only having 8 hours sleep, you can work that too. But if they're waking up every 2 hours, then you have to give them melatonin for this time because you want the brain to rest. They 8-year-old kandipa at least 9 hours sleep is necessity because they are quite active and busy, so you will have to. Okay, so next topic. So neurological disorder, if I just cover in a general motion, now teenage parenting, hot topic, hot. So whoever has asked for teenage parenting, I can see there's a couple of us seriously struggling. As a teenager, I didn't have a problem. No, because I go home, I go to school, I come back home, I sleep, I study, I do this, I go to school. So there was no drama. I cannot bring friends. I don't bring friends home. It didn't mean anything to me. Friends should stay in the school. It's not because I was that good. My mom managed to brainwash me when I was 6 years old. So she was the queen of all the brain rewiring. எனக்கு அப்புறம் தான் தெரியும் எங்க பரம்பரை தொழிலே வந்து brain rewiring தான். It's not that I've studied and I become. She did that when I was 6 years old. You know what she used to tell me? You don't find boyfriend. And I was 6 years old. Finding husband, boyfriend is not your job. Anpa's job is to study. All you need to do is study, get 2 degrees, do masters, do your PhD, you become a doctor. The term she uses doctor, not PhD. She said you have to become a doctor, you wear branded watch. This is exactly how she described, and I'm 6 years old. You wear branded watch, and then when you go out there, people will say, oh my God, so and so's daughter. So and so's daughter. And then I'll be so proud to say you are my daughter. That's all your job. I will find you the men. You don't need friends. Friends are only in school. Friends don't come home. You see, we all are family. Family stay home. Friends stay in the school. This is what she used to tell me. Do you know, until I finished year 12, I didn't have a single friend home. It took me that long to understand it was not the truth. So eventually when I went into uni, like year 12, முடிச்சு யூனிக்கு போகும்போது, even then I struggled to bring friends home because it became my behavior already. Very difficult. I would probably meet friends out. Even till today, I'm social. I meet friends outside. Only 3 of my girlfriends come home. Only 3 of them. No one else comes home. So you can see how she rewired my brain so strong at the age of 6. I'm still sticking to it. So இப்போ நீங்க teenager வந்து இப்ப பேசுறீங்க problem. But what we needed to have started is we needed to have started at the age of 3. So அப்ப 3ல இருந்து நீங்க start பண்ணும்போது, of course நம்ம parent, most of the time this is your first teenage kid இல்லையா, because you don't know what is their pattern, you don't know what you're expecting. I believe there's a lot of expecting mom, but I'm not sure if you're online. The one single advice I would strongly give you is go and read on parenting books. Don't follow one theory. Go and read out what they have. என்ன இருக்கு, உங்க அம்மா கிட்ட பேசுங்க, உங்க பாட்டி கிட்ட பேசுங்க, அவங்க so talk to everybody, understand all their parenting style and choose one best one. You know, choose one same thing. Like not same thing, like choose one that will suit your family, because உங்க parenting is around your family culture. Family culture மட்டும் இல்ல, இப்ப நம்ம shift ஆகி வந்திருக்கோம். We've moved to overseas. Where did you come overseas? You've come to a Western world. அது வந்து நம்ம first புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். I'll give you one example. I knew a person, and then he will say, no, 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 we parents, we watch out all the kids. நாங்க எல்லாரும் ஒருத்தர் பசங்களை வந்து we watch like watchdog. I said, why do you watch the kid? No, 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 Anpa, no, no, no. If I see that kid in the bus stop, I straight away call the parents and tell them, your kid is at the bus stop. I said, really? Do you have so much time? ஆமா, அப்பதானே என்னோட பையன் bus stopல நின்னா அவங்க phone பண்ணி சொல்லுவாங்க. This is exactly what he said. I was like, do you not trust your kid? So how do you expect your kid to trust you, to open up to you? I said, did you teach the kid the right thing? What is right and what is wrong? You need to teach them, guide them, be an example, do it as a family, and always have that bonding. You teenage நம்ம தமிழ்ல எவ்வளவு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, தோளுக்கு மேல வளர்ந்துட்டா தோழன். They actually don't treat you as a friend, which is the truth, but you have to behave like a friend. I'm not saying go out with them, go with their friends because you're also their friend. அவங்க friend கூட நீங்களும் போய் உட்கார்ந்து friend மாதிரி பேசினா நீங்க friend ஆக மாட்டீங்க. No, think like their friend. That's what they mean. You always their parent. They don't want you to be their friend, but you should be also available and ready for them to come and open up. எங்க ஃபேமிலியில நான் 2 கதை சொல்றேன். So you will kind of think, okay, this is how it is. So I have 2 sisters, yeah. So they got married when I was 15. They brought the kids back home and stuff. One sister chose to, this is just like a lab study, which is so interesting. I use them all the time in all my workshop. One sister decided to leave her daughter in my home. One sister decided she wants to take away the other, because she said, no, I want my kid to know I'm the mom. I want him to be just around me, like, he should come mom, mom, mom. I don't want him to be saying like chitti, mama, party. I don't want him to go that way, but I want him to be always saying mom. He should be mine. Like, that was as if she had, well, like, yeah, great, no problem. So the sister who left her daughter in our home, of course, I'm there, obviously. What do you think I'm going to do? So, and my mom is there. So we obviously wired her brain and everything. We prepared her for teenage. We didn't prepare her for a 5-year-old, for an 8-year-old, or a 6-year-old. No. We prepared her for teenage years, because that's when they won't listen to you. You're not going to talk to them. You needed to have talked to them when they're actually listening to you. And you build that bond, and don't have the authoritarian kind of a parenting. It just doesn't work. Have an authoritative, or even like a bit, the best will be authoritative, but authoritarian or laissez-faire parenting will never take you anywhere. நீ போய் என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணிக்க. Some family it may work. நீ என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணு, I give you the full freedom. It may work, it may not work. But authoritarian, you're going to be like an army officer and say, and what's going to do? It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you angry as a person. And eventually, you know what? You're going to feel guilty. I'm not a good parent. You know what? I'm not. I didn't do it. எங்க அம்மா பண்ணாங்களே எங்க அப்பா பண்ணாரே I'm good now. You think so, you're good. Ask yourself what you actually want to do. I wanted to do this, but my parents said I have to do that. I did it, but I listened to them. Why? Yeah, you got a badge here saying, oh my God, you listen to your parents, you got a big badge here. You listen to your parents, fantastic. You really happy where you are? Some of you are. You definitely say your parents made the best choice. Definitely, no doubt. But sometimes no, it's what they wanted to do that make you do it. ஒரு சில ஃபேமிலியில பாத்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாரும் டாக்டரா இருப்பாங்க. They all have to be doctors. Why there's no option given? Of course, the kid chooses. That's a different thing. The kid can choose to be what? Studying in TAFE too. I want to learn something. No. Have you heard any doctor's children become electrician? Builder? A builder makes more money than I do sitting here. It's a chef. Nah, no chef will say my parents are doctor. He will probably say, yes, I'm a doctor or a lawyer, but I dropped that one and I've come to chef. You hear that in Master Chef all the time. What do you do? I'm a lawyer, but cooking is my passion. Or I'm a doctor, cooking is my passion. So, you will have to think, learn to give children the option. அது சின்ன வயசுல இருந்தே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க. ஒரு 3ல இருந்தே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க. 3 is the best age to start because they're in I mode. They are not in a we mode or us mode. No. I modeல இருக்கும்போது ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க. நம்ம ஃபேமிலி we are together, we discuss. நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்களோ அதை முதல்ல பசங்க கிட்ட சொல்லி பழகுங்க. They will come and tell you what they do in school. பசங்க மட்டும் சொல்லணும், நான் எதுவுமே சொல்ல மாட்டேன்னா no. Hey, mom went to market today, I bought this, I did this, it was so good. Mom went to the cafe with my friends. This is Auntie Julie, this is Auntie Vasanta. Learn to talk to them. நீங்க ஒண்ணுமே சொல்லாம அவங்க மட்டும் சொல்லணும்னா it's not right, it's not fair. What you doing na நீங்க பேசி பழக you cultivating a culture. நான் வீட்ல வந்து எல்லாம் சொல்லணும், எங்க அம்மா எல்லாம் சொல்றாங்களே, only you know whether you're telling everything or not. They don't need to know. You need to craft it in such a way that you're telling. We parents actually smart, but most of the time you don't understand. So நீங்க வந்து எல்லாத்தையும் எப்படி no, ஜோடிங்க, கதையெல்லாம் ஜோடிங்க. அதுக்கு தானே உங்களெல்லாம் தமிழ் சீரியல் டிராமாலாம் நீங்க பார்க்கணும். Just decorate them and tell it. But what they need to understand, you come and tell them. Be very genuine when you're talking about it. Very carefree. போய் நீ ஏன் வரல, யார் உன் போன்ல, அவங்க என்ன சொன்னாங்க, சொல்லு சொல்லு சொல்லு, யார் போன்ல, ஏன் நீ இவ்வளவு நேரம் பேசின. Your question is right because your thinking is right, your motive is correct, but the way you're approaching is not right. I'm not going to say wrong, but it's not right. Becomes naggy, especially being their hormone changing. நம்ம எல்லாரும் go through பண்ணோம். Maybe we are not realizing at that time. நம்ம realize பண்ணிக்கல because நம்ம இருந்தது இந்தியால இருந்திருப்போம். I come from Singapore, so there was a lot of support and you mingling with your community. So it's a very different struggle we went through probably. So Anna, the struggle where the children these days going, especially they've moved from their homeland to another country. You will have to understand, நம்மளே cope பண்ணல. In fact, நான் first world country ல இருந்து வந்திருக்கேன் and I moved here. I struggled so much because the culture was so weird. I just couldn't understand Aussie culture. I come from first world country. Now, it took me a year and a half to actually understand and set in. After that, I had no problem. Of course, being in the work line, I knew what to do. But children, they have no idea. A lot of why question, a lot of question marks, but nothing is answered. But number parents என்ன பண்றோம், நம்மளோட கல்ச்சரையும் கொண்டு வந்து திணிக்கிறோம். அப்ப அவங்க there's more question for them, but they're not getting answers. I'll just tell you what my parents, as I told you, they will be the gurus of rewiring of anything. Oh, hi Gayatri, nice to meet you too. What my parents did without fail, when we turned 2, they always sent us to India. So this is our training school. We used to go learn culture. So நீங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு போற மட்டும் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு 4 years இருக்கும். They'll send us. This is just their parenting. I don't mean that's what you have to do. So they'll send us. We just go and learn the culture, Tamil. As soon as we go, when you come back, our Tamil will be so different. Because we're learning from our grandparents, our uncle, auntie, and everything. And trust me, I'm 5th generation in Singapore. So India means it's my father's country, not my country. But they'll pack us up, they'll send there. And then, mind you, my mom is also from Singapore. She's not from India too. But her dad's from India. So they had the same culture. Yeah, so அப்போ நாங்க போய் தமிழ் பேசிட்டு கல்ச்சர் எல்லாம் எங்க அம்மா வந்து வீட்ல எப்பவுமே புடவை தான் கட்டியிருப்பாங்க. எங்க அம்மா புடவையில தான் தூங்குவாங்க, புடவையில தான் எழுந்திருப்பாங்க. She doesn't remove anything. You just like the serial moms. So she's fully dressed up when she's sleeping. I'm not talking about the makeup, but she'll wear all, you know, the Indian mom. They'll have that tali or a chain or a bangle ring. And I always used to look at her. I said, how do you sleep? She said, just like this, and she'll sleep. So she made me think it was not a problem. So one day I decided to try. As usual, I dressed up everything. I tied my sari and I slept. I was like, oh my God, I almost died. So what you see, how she made me believe it's so comfortable to sleep in sari with sari blouse, with all her jewelry. I don't know why the video has stopped. But can you all hear me though? Can you all comment if you can hear me? Okay, cool. Then what I will do, I'll just continue talking because for some reason the video is not picking up. I'll just talk to you all. So yeah, so my mom made me believe things that she was doing because she was doing. So it became an example for me. If she can do it and she's doing it so easily, I think I'm okay. I can actually do it too. Good. I think I think I can't see myself, but I think you all can see. So that's fine. Great. So we'll just continue. So this is what happened. So I was made to believe. And you know what? Till today, I can do everything in my sari. I can wear sari. I can do any work. So people have always asked me, how come you wear sari and doing it? I said, it's because I've seen my mom doing it. My mom, I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable in sari and I could do anything. Except for, if I'm going to the gym but if you ask me to go to the gym and do carry weight, also probably I can do it. So it's here, brain wiring. That's how I was wired. I could do. So I was made to believe I could do it. Simple as that. See, most of the time our parents would have done it. Your parents would have done it too, but we just don't realize that was rewiring of the brain. But now what we're doing, because we are in a different era, the era has completely changed. So our children, especially they're no more in Indian cultural society. You need to go somewhere. So that's one thing. So they're struggling with cultural identity. They're struggling with bullying. Bullying is big time in school. So they struggle a lot with bullying. But as a teenage parent, what I like you to understand, by the age of 10, it's already onset of puberty. Yeah. So if let's say 10 is onset, 11, 12. So 12, they either hit puberty or 13. Or 14. But usually from 10 to 11, it starts. So their puberty onset, that means they're starting to, their body is telling, oh, look, the brain says, you know what? I need to prepare you for puberty. Let's get you ready for puberty. So now their academic studying interest will be still there, but now it goes a bit more slower because the brain is concentrating on another part of your development, which is your sexual development. That's when your நம்மள நிறைய பேர் இந்த டாபிக் பேசுறதே கிடையாது. We just don't. எங்க டைம்ல வந்து it's a lot of taboo. But I'm so thankful. My mom was never ashamed to talk anything. So she'll pull us aside and she'll just talk. She'll say, no, this one, this one, this one, this one. You're like, oh, okay. So in that way, I felt there was nothing wrong to talk. நீங்க எவ்வளவு கம்ஃபர்டபுளா ஒண்ணு பேசுறீங்களோ அவ்வளவு கம்ஃபர்டபுளா your children will open up. To the extent, இப்போ நான் முதல்ல 2 கதை சொன்னேன், my niece and nephew. என்னோட niece வந்து she grew up in my home, my nephew grew with my other sister. He has completely gone out of my sisters and she's not able to control him because all she did was do this, do that, do this, do that, do this. Or else for my niece, I gave that option. So I told my mom, I said, I want to do parenting this way. Can you imagine? I did parenting. So I said, this is how, because she was literally my lab rat. I literally did research on her. I said, this is how I want it to be. I want to give her choices from day one. Of course, there's a lot of cultural tweaking. Certain things we can do and cannot do, but I always gave a reason behind it. So she understood it better. She hang on to it. I can never tell you something without a reason. If I give you an example and I give you a reason. I just don't tell you, go and do this, go and do this, go and do this. So it's the same way you're going to talk. Put out a couple of options out there. Let them make that choice. So you've given them that independence. Like under independence, choice making independence, you have to give your children. But the 4 choices is your choices. Yes, Pooja, I understand because especially teenage children, will throw out a lot of questions. Feel free and okay, this is good thing. One of my colleague in Singapore, she gave this story to me. She said, one day a girl went to the school and she said, this uncle touched my chichi. So the teacher said, what chichi? I think not uncle. She said, somebody touched my chichi. Teacher's like, what chichi? What are you talking about? What's chichi? She's like, go and sit down. She's like 8 years old girl. So she felt it was very silly. Go and sit down. Teacher, my chichi, this person touched my chichi. And she's like, not understanding. And then she called up the mom and she said, your daughters keep saying chichi. What is that? Oh, she's talking about the girl part, the girl private part. We call it chichi. We don't say any other name to it. So can you imagine the girl has been being molested by someone constantly? If the mom had told her the right word or told her people are not supposed to touch you here, 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 they are not acceptable. Now in India, a lot of parents are teaching. Did we teach before? We needed so many rape cases to come up before we teach our children. We don't. You need to teach as early as what? Even 6 years old. We don't teach them. We don't teach them. So in coming back to your story, Pooja, feel free to use the right term. Go and bring a science book. Science book. If not, go and Google. There's a lot of YouTube videos designed for in such a pleasant way. If you're really culturally quite shy, fine, I absolutely get it. Go and then get a YouTube thingy. If not, write a note to the teacher. These are the questions my child has brought up. May I please ask your help to talk him through? We teachers are trained, like I'm a teacher by profession too. So we are trained how to talk to the children in a very smart science, very silly way where they get it. And they're also free to ask all those questions, but I don't want them to go to the teacher all the time. That's why I like you to be the teacher most of the time. Take it easy. It's good, but they will come and ask you means they're prepared to listen to you. Please do not shut them and send them away. Mommy, I want to know how babies are made. Oh my God, you find if they're asking means they are ready. Don't care 10 years old, not 11 years old. Please don't tell, oh, you came on an aeroplane, suddenly you were in our bed, you popped up. I've heard that story so many times. Or you were in my stomach and you just came out. No, no. You want to tell exactly how you came out. Because there's some guys waiting out there to tell a different story to your daughter or to your son who's small for them to believe, and then they'll believe it because you told them another story. Feel free. I'm going to use some of the term. If it's a bit disturbing to you, but I'm sorry, but vagina, there's no other term for vagina. Penis, there's no other name for penis in English. It's just like that. Yes, I had baby. When dad and we married, we get together. You can use terms like, um, physical relationship. Only when, so when we get married, we are allowed to have physical relationship. They will ask you questions. But my friend's mom and dad is not married. They are having physical relationship. They have children. Good question. Always let them know their question is good because you want them to come back home and ask you the question. You don't want them to learn it from a friend who actually don't know any story. Let them come back home and ask you, but this is Western world. A lot of people not married, but they're partners. Yes, they are officially partners. They've announced to everybody, but they only have physical relationship with that one person. See, you're so clear. Yeah, they're not married, but they only have physical relationship with that one person. But we all as parents have to remember one thing. Okay. I know our time, most of you are my age as well, probably. It's so in the culture. You only have sex when you're married. And you wait for that one guy to appear that your parents will bring. And then you get married, and that's when everything, fa la 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 la, fairy tale. It's 2021. Now, and you do not actually know what your children are doing behind when they go to school. I don't need to get into stress. We know. I'm in the industry. We know what happens out there. But as a parent, what you can do, open that door for them to come and communicate with you. Even if they say they have a boyfriend, good, great. Talk them through the process. This is what you can do and cannot do. Always say, make her feel, this is for the girls, make them feel they are such a treasure. They are actually responsible to look after them. They have the right to say no. Give them that confidence. You don't have to worry about my daughter. I go on a lot of dates. The guy's first date, they want to put their arm around me. I said, sorry, excuse me? Oh, what? I can't touch you? I said, no. Really? I said, yeah, you're touching me. So these confidences come from my mom, what she used to brainwash me, literally brainwash me. And I used to tell them, no, no, no. If I say yes, you can touch me. Otherwise, you're not holding my hand. What? No, it's nice to. I said, I don't know if it's nice, but I just said no. No is not. No is the new yes. If many of you agree, no is the new yes. So teenage parenting, it's a very tricky thing. Anna, you have to make them understand it is about them. It's not about somebody. Oh, friend, நல்ல friend, don't do that. You're going to lose them. You are so good, I'm sure you'll find a good friend. Bring your friends home. Introduce me to your friends. If your friends are good, they will come back home and she'll bring all the friends home. You will literally know all the friends. If any friends who say they don't want to come home, you will see they will drop the friend. Because how you treating your daughter's friend, your son's friend, is how they're going to respect you. ஆனா நம்ம திருட்டுத்தனமா என்ன பண்றோம்? You actually want to know who all their friends are. You don't have to tell them. You be this smart parent, Oh my God, your good friends. See, my friends all come home. You see, you know all my friends. That's why I say introduce all your friends to them. Show them. These are the friends you go out with. When they did, Mom, I went with John, I went with Aisha, I went with Peter. Oh, that's good. What are the two boys doing? What is the girl? Don't keep asking about the boy. Ask about a lot about the girl, then ask about the boy if you're a bit concerned. Then say, why don't you bring them for lunch tomorrow? We would love to meet your friends. This is so cool. Pretend. Just pretend. Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're making. You also want them to make friends, which is very important. நம்ம அதை வந்து மறந்துடுறோம். என்ன மாதிரி friend நீ make பண்றங்கிறது தான் இருக்கமே தவிர, we want them to make friends too. But you want them to be with the right company. So as I understand, it's not only mom's role, it's father's role as well. If it's a boy, father's role is immense in parenting. அது வந்து நம்ம மறந்துடுறோம். அம்மா தான் பசங்கள் எல்லாம் I just never believed. My father played a huge role. My mom played another huge role. So I don't understand the meaning. நிறைய பேர் agree பண்ணிப்பீங்க. Both your parents had a lot of hearts in you. இப்போ இருக்கிற modern era, the guys think mom's role. Mom மாதிரி ஒன்ன மாதிரி என்னால பார்க்க முடியாது. You can see what the men are doing. They're actually rewiring you. They're making you think only you can do the job well. So what you think, oh my God, only I can do. It's like my boss give me promotion. You know what? I'm just going to do it. No, no. Dads have to play a part. There's a day where the kids have to spend time with the kid. Dad, not that dad is on the phone and the kids are in a corner. That's not. Dad literally go out with them. You go for a movie, you take them for a soccer, you take them for a bike ride. I know a lot of my clients, the mom, she's a chef in a restaurant. She comes back home, she cooks for the children, she takes them on a bike ride. What does the dad do? He sits on the second level and is doing work. Hold that. Because I'm working. I bring money for the family. I said, then what do I do? We all bring money for the family, right? We're not talking about money. As a parent, you decide to have children. That means both parties decide to have children. Parenting means mother and father, unless you're a single parent. I'm not a big fan of grandparents bringing up your children either. But grandparents should also have a say, but they cannot solely bring their parent. I know a lot of my clients will leave the second kid with their parents in India for 2 years. I just don't understand how they can do it. Unless they've got a very strong reason to it. Otherwise, I'm not a big fan of it. Because as parent, you have a lot of bonding. And the first 3 years is the crucial period in your life, So you will have to understand how much role your husband's play. Today, go home and think. நீங்க நிறைய பேர் இந்த கேள்வி உங்களை கேட்டுக்கங்க. உங்கள எத்தனை பேர் ஃபேமிலில your husband actually plays 50% parenting. நீங்க சமைச்சு வச்சிருப்பீங்க. அத கூட உங்க husband serve பண்ணலாமே. Your husband can call everybody for dinner. You don't have to call the children for dinner. எல்லாரும் டின்னருக்கு வாங்க. It's so easy. Like your husband can take that role. That can be done. Why I'm saying a lot of the men don't do it, because I travel to a lot of families and I see exactly what they do. So my client will go and ask the dad, banana please, because I would have trained him. Go and ask mama. I straight away tell him off. I said, no, he asked you banana, you take the banana and give. Oh, okay. Then he took the banana and gave. My banana, he's standing next to banana. Now go and ask mom. So I don't think so. And can take them, go for swimming with them. Not take them for swimming and dump them in the water and you're on the phone. No, you get into the water, you're swimming with them, and then you go cycling with them. My father, yes, that time is different because we were 4 kids and 2 cousins stayed with me because எங்க பெரியப்பா வந்து பெரியம்மா பெரியப்பாலாம் இந்தியால இருந்தாங்க. அதனால my father said no, let me give them life in Singapore. He brought them to Singapore. So my that cousin brother stayed with me for donkey years. So upper 6 children, my mom alone. So my mom looks after the whole house. My dad used to go and work. That's different. But when my dad comes back home, you know what he used to do? He will take the newspaper. My father is so much into Indian politics, So he will take all the newspaper and he said, look, this is what the current issue is. So we go through the newspaper at the age of 6. I was 6, I remember. So my siblings were a lot older than me. So he'll go through the newspaper with us. எங்க அப்பாக்கு 1333 திருக்குறளும் அத்துப்படி அதுக்கு எல்லா மீனிங் எங்க அப்பா சொல்லுவாரு. You know why? He sat down and read the திருக்குறள் every night before he went to bed. He will talk to us. Anything we do at home, இது திருவள்ளுவர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு தெரியுமா, திருவள்ளுவர் இத்தனாவது பாடல இந்த பேஜ்ல he will tell that one. இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லியிருக்காரு, நீ இந்த மாதிரி செய்யறது very good. Look at the positive reinforcement. I actually miss my dad because he's passed away like 15 years, like 14 years ago now, but இன்னைக்கும் I keep that book that he had. I brought the Tirukural book with me and it's still with me at home. On and off, I used to go for Tirukural competition because he was studying at home. I was very interested. I started memorizing Tirukural. We used to go. He didn't have to ask me or force me. I said, I want to go for the Tirukural competition, just like how you're saying it. I want to go and say it. Yeah, I always used to get first prize. Articulation was fantastic, clear, and I started following what the lines in Tirukural said. I have a Tiruvalluvar's photo in me, so you can see how it's so ingrained in me. I can talk about Periyar till the cow comes home. You know why? That's what my parents did when I was 6 years old, not when I was a teenager. Nah. By the time when I was a teenager, done. I knew who was Periyar. I knew what to do. I started reading. My mom will read book. She'll say, look, this is the book I'm reading. What's your book? She won't force me to read her book. She said, what book are you reading? I said, this is the book I'm reading. Oh, great. Let's share. She will tell the story of her book. She bonded with me that way. Otherwise, most of the time she's cooking for 6, 7, 8, 9 of us. She's cooking. This is every night we got together. That's how I learned parenting, of course, through studying as well. But unga parents நிறைய பேர் பண்ணிருப்பாங்க. But because we work. That's why I told you the problems we face through all the roles we take. We are a daughter, we are a daughter-in-law, we are a mother, we are a wife, we are an employee in some company. The boss gives you headache, your husband gives you headache, children give you headache, your parents are aged now, your siblings give you advice and this and that. You're just struggling, and you've got a social circle to look after too. Geez, it's so tiring. I believe a lot of you are so tired. By end of the day, when you go to bed, do you have a time off? When is your off day? So do you say, you know what, guys, today I'm not fun. You, your dad, all of you, bye-bye. Have you gone out a single time? I'm not talking about 2 hours. I'm talking about a day. No. Wait. I'm sure so. Wait. You'll be drinking coffee with it. Wait, hold on. Let me ask, what's my husband doing? I can never trust him. Have the children eat? I've seen a lot of my girlfriends do this. After that, you know what I told myself? No more married women with me. No more. So unfortunately, my social circle is all single women. I have 2 friends who are married, but they only can come, but they're single moms. So they're not going to call their husbands to check. I said no more to women who's got husband and children coming out with me coffee, because this is all the time they'll stop me and they'll be so busy finding out what the husband is doing. Trust them. Leave them alone. Let them enjoy that moment with that kid as well. If you keep asking them, they know you don't trust them. They're actually not going to do as well. Your husband's not going to say, you don't trust me anyway. You can come and do it. When you go home, just appreciate it. Oh my God, did you all do? I'm sure a lot of you are doing it, but I'm just saying it. You're going to say, oh my God, great. You've done this. This is fantastic. He'll be willing to do it next time. If he's not, don't bother. You still go out. He'll get used to it. Rewiring of the brain. That's how you keep doing it. He will start thinking, oh my God, yeah, I have to do it anyway. He will just rewire his brain. It becomes normal. So you're making it normal for your husband to run the day at home with your children. Not him on the TV and the children in a corner. They go out to play something. He has to take them out and something yet. Okay, I have a question here. I moved to here at the age of 16 and completed a high school. I believe that bullying is overrated for some extent here and underrated in Eastern world. Would you agree or disagree? Please explain how parents can help kids who are being subjected to bullying. It's a good question. Bullying happens everywhere. How many of you, of course I can't see you all, how many of you all are not bullied at workplace? I was bullied at my workplace. Not only here, even in Singapore I was bullied. I've bullied here as well. It don't have to be overt. It'll be passive sometimes. It'll be so passive, you don't even realize you actually bullied. How many of you are bullied in your marriage? All the time. We don't realize. We say it's love. we label bullying love, right? We all are bullied at some stage and all the time. How we are going to deal with it and how we're taking it is the question here. Yeah. Well, the reason I'm talking on teenage parenting is I know it's a big issue at this point of time. If that child, if let's say the two things, if the child has come back and told you, Mom, I'm being bullied openly, sit down and have a good chat. I'd like you to have a chat. Get the detail out of the kid. The kid needs to know you are actually concerned and you want to know every detail. Get out every detail. And then take it back to the school and tell, this is what my child has said. I would like to know, because schools take bullying seriously. You need to bring it as a parent and you want to know how the school has addressed the issue, and you come back. And you want to make sure, you want to touch base with your child if bullying is happening every day. How are you feeling today? Did you do this? Give them some strategies as well. If somebody is saying, you know what, let's say one of the bullying term, oh, you chocolate chip brown cookie, oh, you're so brown, go back where you come. Maybe one of those common ones, I'm not sure. Your kid don't have to say anything. All they need to think here is, oh, such a stupid person, so poor thing. He is so uneducated, so sad, no one is there to teach him. Your kid need to think that in the head and keep moving. And what your kid has to do is tell the teacher that's what that kid is saying. So there is no reaction to the bully. When you react, the bully gets excited. When do you have a bully? When you have a reaction. When you don't have a reaction, when you've got a flat face like that. This is called flat face. You just neutral. Bullies don't come back to you. Of course, they're going to get angry. If they put the hand on you or anything, that's it. That becomes a serious issue. Straight away take it to the school principal. That's it. The kid will be expelled or suspended from school. That's a different issue. But here, what as a parent you need to do is how you feel. If this is when the kid talks to you, if the kid doesn't come and open up to you, if you find them very quiet, or they're giving you hints through their drawing, they're drawing a face but they keep coloring it dark, or they're not functional, they're not productive, they're not doing what you would usually thought they would do, they're eating less, sleep is disturbed, you know something is not right. You would then pull them aside and say, hey darling, how ஆனா இதை வந்து நீங்க அப்பத்துல இருந்து பழகி இருக்கணும் இந்த மாதிரி பேசி. திடீர்னு ஒரு நாள் நீங்க சைட்ல தூக்கி பேச முடியாது. நீங்க வந்து ஸ்மால்ல இருந்து பழகி இருக்கணும். எப்படி இருக்கு ஸ்கூல்ல என்ன நடக்குது, வாட்ஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் இன் ஸ்கூல், how are you feeling, did you have a good day, did you have fun? இதெல்லாம் முக்கியமான question. If you always see white parents எப்பவுமே கேட்பாங்க, did you have fun, did you play, did you make friends? Then they will say, no, Johnny said he didn't want to play with me. இது வந்து 3 வயசு பசங்க white parents பேசி நான் கேட்டிருக்கேன். Oh, that's okay. Maybe Johnny didn't want to play with you. That's okay. You can go and find other friends. Oh, but no one wants to play with me. That's okay. Mama can play with you at home. When you go to school, you can find a toy to play. Did the mom solve the kid's problem? Yeah. This is at the age of 3. நான் முதல்ல சொன்னது தான், always don't wait for teenage age. But of course, இப்போ நம்ம teenage வந்துட்டீங்க, you can't go back. But whoever is young parents, start from now. இப்போ அந்த சொல்லாத ஒரு கிட்டுக்கு நீங்க சிம்டம் பார்த்திருக்கீங்க, they're not sleeping, they're not eating, or they're rude to you, they just, they're just yelling at you, they're very disturbed. That doesn't mean they're actually rude or non-compliant kid or they are very rebellious kid. No, they're actually really struggling. It's coming out. நம்ம சொல்றோம், நீங்க நல்லா யோசிச்சு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஹஸ்பண்ட் கத்தும் போது ஜஸ்டிஃபை பண்ணிருப்போம், அவருக்கு ஆபீஸ்ல நிறைய வேலை அதனால அவர் கத்துறாரு. But when children are yelling, we say, oh my god, you're so non-compliant. Why so? That's called double standard. I think as parents sometimes we are not as open or as understanding with our teenage children. We are quite harsh on them. Sometimes, I'm not saying everybody. அப்ப நீங்க என்ன பண்ணலாம்னா, keep the conversation really open from day one. Anybody troubles you, please come and let me know. Mommy will help you. என்னோட டைம்ல give an example. உங்க டைம்ல இல்லனா ஏதாவது ஒரு கற்பனை கதை சொல்லுங்க. யாரோ ஒருத்தவங்க உங்களை bully பண்ணாங்க, ஒரு கதை ஜோடிச்சுக்கங்க. Tell them as if it's your experience. Tell them what you did and how you handle. You see if the kid open up to you or not. I also went through, it was very difficult for me. Even in my workplace now, they just, sometimes they'll say, oh, you foreign workers taking my work and blah, blah. I just don't bother. I just don't give them try talking to them as if you're going through it. They will know, oh, it's not normal to go through bullying, but the smarter person who knows how to handle it. Of course, you have to let the teacher know, but you need to tell the other person you're such a strong personality and such a strong character, no one can bully you. You just put a full stop to it. They don't come back to you. When I was in high school, yes, I went through bullying quite a bit. Not that anything, because I was too good. You know how my mom is very typical, so she'll call me so flat with 2 plaits, and I'll have 2 ribbons on my head. Can you imagine 1990s, I went to school with 2 ribbons with my long plait. It's the most embarrassing time in my school. They used to call me Spaceship or Star Wars because I had 2 ribbons. They used to shout from the 4th floor, Star Wars, Star Wars. It didn't bother me because I was not Star Wars. But my mom always used to say, when I was 6 years old, this is all 6 years old, if anybody calls your name, just keep walking, look straight and keep walking, because what's important is what's your next journey. She always told me to look forward to the next bit, and these people will still stay. She said, move forward and look where they are. They won't be next to you. They'll be still behind because you're so busy yelling, but you're so busy moving forward. Until today, no bullying bothered me because I keep moving forward. Not only bullying, if anything happens, anything like anything in my relationship or anything happens, it doesn't bother me because I keep moving. I've realized to, keep moving forward. I did release most real stories to my daughter, depends on situation. She was absolutely Vanita. That's the smartest thing. எப்பவுமே நீங்க உண்மை கதெல்லாம் சொல்லணும்னு யார் சொன்னது? No, திருவள்ளுவர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு நீங்களாம் பொய் சொல்லலாம்னு. And if it's going to benefit her, tell as if it's your story. Because you're telling as if it's your story, they will start believing it. They will open up. If these are kids who didn't open up, but if it's prolonging, like if it's carrying on, definitely talk to the classroom teacher. Say, this is what I'm thinking. I reckon there's some bullying going on, passive bullying, because teachers may not be aware because it's not overt. It's very passive. It's very hush-hush bullying. And these kids get so nervous and get so scared because they're not confident. Adinala, bring up a confident kid. Always bring a confident, not an overconfident kid. Bring up a confident kid who's confident of themselves to say the other person, you know what? I don't care what you're saying because I can't hear you. So teach the kid. So Sandhya, if I am not Sandhya, like the other parent, I can't remember who asked me. What parents should do these days? Teach them the confidence and technique, how to handle the situation. Be confident, don't respond. Move on, tell the teacher, this person is saying this much, but it's bothering me, but I didn't say anything, but I don't like them to say it again. What would you like me to do? Can you help me? That the kid is supposed to go to the teacher to ask for help. The teacher will investigate. And make sure your child comes back and tell you, and you're on top of it, because they cannot go sleepless. That means they're going into anxiety, and eventually they'll go into depression, which then very difficult. Then you have to take them to psychologist and so on and so forth. On the other hand, if your child is struggling and it's a bit out of your control, you're not able to help anymore, book a psychologist upon. There are a lot of teenage psychologists out there. No black mark, no nothing. And you have 10 sessions on your Medicare card, book one of them, take them there. They are professionally trained how to help them. So if you can't help them, because sometimes you are dealing with your own emotion, maybe a lot is happening, then don't deal with it. Take them to the professional. You have 10 free sessions, take them there. They will help you, but take them as soon as you know. Do not delay. Teenage depression, it's a long-term depression. Definitely, open communication is definitely. Thank you. Yeah, so do not let your kid go into depression or anxiety in teenage. Very difficult to undo, because they already saw and they're already having a lot of difficulty for a lot of time. So it's something that you wouldn't want to do. It's something you wouldn't want to do at all. So if you have teenage children and you finding these symptoms, if you're not in a mental state, that means you are having some issues. Let's say your parents are not well and so you're worried about it. Work is giving a lot of problem. If so much is going on, do talk to the kid, understand what's happening, book a psychologist. So teenage psychologists will be out there. Take them there. They can open up and tell them everything, and that's the only way. They will give them the keys, strength, and everything. How to handle certain bullying or emotions. First, they need to know how to deal with their emotions, and then they move forward. Anpa, please list out the reasons behind the response of obeying as kids carry on with parents. Like kids is responding, dad instantly, not mom. Yeah, I've seen it in most of the places, because dads always again, correct me if I'm wrong. Dads always portray as if they're the army soldier because they're not the primary caregiver. Moms become primary caregiver. Everything is mom. Ayyo, சாப்பிடுடா. Ayyo, Dad will be like, "Sabriya," you know, so they come in like a military officer, and then oh my God, yeah, they're doing it out of fear. Full stop. With you, they don't have fear, but they love you a lot, but they bully you. If that makes sense, yeah. Nothing wrong. You just need to make your choices clear. I don't have my own children, but my niece is the one. She loves me to bits and pieces. Everything. We chat everything. But when I put my foot down and I say, she knows I'm in business. That's because I've always been consistent. My sister can tell her the same instruction the whole day. She will not do it. So I'm not even talking about father and mother. I'm talking about mother and auntie. She don't even live with me. But she did before. But now we don't. She's 25 years old now. But no, my sister can tell the whole day. She'll yell. My sister will yell till the roof drops. Nah, my niece doesn't do it. Then I'll just tell her, hey, Darren, this is the issue. This is what we need to do. If you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. Can you get that done, please? It's already sitting there for 2 weeks. Bang, boom, boom, it's done. And then obviously, like how you're saying, my sister will say, oh, she said you did it. Oh, I said you didn't do it. It's exactly how you say it. But sometimes maybe I might be wrong because your situation might be different. Maybe your husband is saying it in a very soft and loving and caring way, but he's always not there. So your husband is always a novelty for children because he's seldom coming. They are like, oh my God, I better make you happy because I rarely see you. Oh, my mom is here. There's nothing that I need to. So you're not special. You're special because they need something from you, but you're not special like how your husband is, who appears like a film star on and off, which is a sad thing. Husband and wife should be constantly there for the children, but these could be the few reasons. And to come back how to handle it, you start talking reasons out with them why you like them to be done, but give them options. If let's say they don't take, for example, lunchbox, they don't take it out of the bag, don't send lunch tomorrow. Let them take that box only back home, to school. He says, sorry, there was no lunchbox. So tomorrow morning they'll say, Mom, where's my lunch? I don't see a lunchbox. I didn't prepare lunch for you to take to school. Oh, no, it's my bag. I don't know. I don't know if it's in your bag because you didn't put it out. If you put it out, I will know. Okay. So would you like to put it out? They'll say, yeah. Go and bring it. Tomorrow, that afternoon, they will remember to put it out. So it's just, you don't have to yell. No, that's called fighting. Oh, sorry, I couldn't see your lunchbox here. I didn't know where it was, so I thought you didn't want lunch. No. Lunch it's in my bag. I can't see it. Sorry. If you put it out, I can prepare lunch for you. Would you like lunch? Yes, Mom. So are you able to bring your lunchbox? The kid will bring. This is called you really sitting there to reasoning because you're telling exactly what you cannot see. Don't do the hidden agenda, like, oh, I always tell you, you don't blah, 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 and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Please give some tips. I have actually passed 1 hour. I'll do for another 15 to 20 minutes because I still want to cover the other two topics. I'll answer this last question and then I'll move on to the other one. Please give some tips to handle sibling rivalry. Not just normal argument fight, but it happens whenever they open their mouth and talk, and it ends up in argument, screaming, etc. Whenever happens except for when they are asleep. Right. Now, it's a general question you've asked. Here, there's two things you have to find out. What is that they're fighting about? What is actually they're not getting along? Sometimes what they're fighting about is only secondary. There's something primary underneath going on. They're actually jealous probably about each other for something. Because as parents, sometimes we praise one and we don't praise the other. I'm just saying, yeah? Or we would always look at the other one. We are so unconsciously biased sometimes. We parents don't realize. I just told you how my mother brainwashed me and made me this perfect person. Do you know who she dotes on? My sister. And how do I know? She openly does it. Parents just don't think, they don't realize. Unconsciously, they actually favor one of the kids. They do. So, adhanala irkalam, Vasanthi, it could be because of that, or they're actually jealous based on something. Because if they're not jealous and they've been always like friends, or they've got different friends, they're just different personality, so you need to just let them know, just be respectful to each other. Argument and screaming, if it's common and it's very accepted, again, for them, it's all right. But if you've always made screaming and yelling and arguments are not accepted, but they're happy to sit down and talk. So make it a point. Start at home now. Okay, let's sit down and just have a chat. What's the problem? sit down and have an open chat with them, like let's say sisters or brothers or a boy and a girl, they're having a sibling rivalry. It shouldn't be a rivalry because they're quite young. It's purely jealousy. Maybe somebody's doing something better and they're always getting praises for some reason, or they're always noticed for some reason, you know. So it could be something. So investigate the underlying issue. Based on the underlying issue, you can resolve the secondary issue. I think them fighting is a secondary thing. There's something else underneath, which you probably will have to find out. But definitely have a chat with them so they can open up. Do not cite anybody. Have a very open table talk, and like as if you're a judge. Let's listen to both of them and say, "Yep, that's right too. That's right too." Okay, so very neutral. Your decision is going to be very neutral, and let them have that chat. And then maybe there's something else going on which you actually probably don't know. So I'm assuming they're teenagers. So yeah, there shouldn't be rivalry, probably jealousy. Okay, so I hope I've covered a bit on teenage parenting. Definitely take home message is keep your conversation open. Young parents start from the age of 3, preparing them for teenage. Any sexual question they come and ask you, please answer them. Please answer them. If they come and ask you, means they are ready. Don't shut them off. And tell them the right technical science term. And when you're saying the term, don't have a shy face. The penis. Please don't do all those things. If you keep a face that's very comfortable, it's called penis and that's called vagina. This face, they will take it in that way. If you keep those face like you're shy and you're blushing, they're like, okay, something is not right then. Why are you so shy about it? So don't give them those QQ, and then take them to a place where they can take the right book and they can read. Internet tells you a lot of nonsense too. Show them the right book to read. Let the teacher know, okay, you know what, can you explain, my child has got this question. I have started at home, can you please start? A lot of my clients, I have a lot of teenage clients, they will say he started talking about girlfriend, boyfriend and sex. So no problem, I can talk about it. So I have to openly talk to him about penis, puberty, everything. Then the mom said, oh my god, I'm going to hide in the room. It was very hilarious how she was not even able to hear what we were talking, as if I was talking some vulgarity. No. So there's a lot of ways you can handle these questions, but if they're asking you, means they're ready to listen. So please don't shush them away, and be open, and do not give them any playterms. I cut open, and of course cesarean, then there's a different thing. So otherwise, yes, feel free. If not, a lot of YouTube actual clips are there by professionals created. Put that on. They can watch it and they can understand, and tell them I'm here available for you to ask me any question. So they know you are the go-to person, not their friend, because friends got a lot of crazy ideas. And a lot of kids actually watch, a lot of parents tap on their children's internet. Do you know a lot of kids go out there and watch pornography while they connect to other Wi-Fi's, and they delete all of it, and they come back home, you don't trace, you always think the kid is an angel. No, we have a lot of clients, we know a lot of kids out there do it because you have shut the door for communication. So as I said, nothing wrong. So with my nephew, you know what I tell him now? He's 28. Don't have sex without condom. That's the only thing I tell him. Ask my sister to tell him. She will, oh my God, Shiva. She will run away somewhere. But no, that was the conversation I had with him. Because what would you tell him? Don't have sex before marriage? No, I don't know if he is or not. I don't know. I'm not going to ask him. But this is one thing I can tell him. Do not have sex without condom. You will protect yourself and you'll be alive for long. Oh, yes, Chitu. Yes, yes, Titi. Yes, I remember. No. I definitely keep that in mind. That's it. Then don't talk anything more. Hey, are you sleeping with someone? I don't ask those things. And then, they will come and introduce to you if they are in relationship with anyone. They know you're the go-to. I just keep it that open. Yeah, sometimes I have my fear inside, but I just don't show them. I'm just so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, can you don't do it? I just don't show it to them. I look as if like, I am very confident that you won't do it, but actually, no, I'm not. So you just being that confident parent. Confident parent goes a long way. Right? And don't feel guilty. Don't blame yourself for a lot of things. Go and learn. There's a lot of things to learn. Feel good about yourself as a parent. You all are doing so many things, like you, as I told you, working, and then social work. Like, look, Pooja's managing a Facebook and she's a professional. She's got 2 children. She manages a husband as well, and probably she's doing other social work too, and a lot of you on that board. I work 7 days a week, of course, minus the kid. I do everything else. It's crazy, but we need to give ourselves pep. Be proud of yourself. Go out, do a lot of socializing, be happy, and enjoy your time. Okay, I'll move to rewiring of brain. I know a lot of you are very curious about this one. While explaining the other topics, I did tell you what was rewiring. right? So one example I'll take is the sleep routine. So in this rewiring, I'm going to explain sleep routine. So the mom said the child is on melatonin, 8 years old, having sleep trouble. So if let's say the kid has melatonin at 8 p.m., usually melatonin takes around half an hour to 45 minutes to work. So by 8:30, the kid's dozed off. So at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, after 6 hours, or 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, the kid has to wake up at 5:30, right? So what we are going to do is, I said, great. With melatonin, the kid sleeps for 9 hours. That's my baseline. Okay, and then I will say without melatonin, so let's say melatonin is zero point 0.5, that's the dose they're giving. I said without the melatonin, what time does the child go to sleep? Because now the mom gives at 8 o'clock, child goes to 8:30. If the mom gives at 9 o'clock, the child will sleep at 9:30. So that's how melatonin works. So naturally the child is not able to sleep on there, or like, you know how we like, oh my god, I'm so tired, and I want to sleep. They don't, they keep going because the brain don't know when to shut down. So the problem is the brain don't know how to shut down. So what we are going to do, we are going to tell the child how to shut down the brain. So you're going to rewire the brain to shut down on its own to go to bed. Yeah. So we are going to keep then the mom will say, no, if I don't give her the dose, she sleep like 12 a.m. and she wakes up by 5 o'clock, which is a very short sleep for an 8-year-old. Okay, great. Let's do that one bit. I'll tell the mom to continue giving 0.5 every 8 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, she would give it. 8:30, the child doses off. But before the 8 o'clock, there is a routine that you would do. So this is, I'm doing things from outside. So the brain starts rewiring itself. The brain will adjust according to your environment. How many of you behave very Indian if you're from India? How many of you behave Indian when you go to France, to Italy? Suddenly there'll be a bit of Italian in you. Suddenly there'll be a bit of a French in you. You become an American at times. Why? Your brain adjusts. Because you see, you're adapting, your brain changes, your brain rewires within that 2 to 3 days. Suddenly, when you come back, you've got a little bit of American accent. Yeah, your brain rewires without you knowing. Your brain always rewires. A lot of us don't allow our brain to rewire, unfortunately. So thus we have weight problem, addiction problem. All of this comes because we don't allow our brains to rewire and we're not controlling it. Yeah. So with the sleep thinking, so I will tell the mom before the 8 o'clock melatonin. So melatonin will be always given at 8 o'clock for her to sleep at 8:30. But before 8 o'clock is where I'm going to adjust the environment. That means she will have a dinner and then she will have a bath. So in the bath, we make changes like Epsom salt or magnesium salt for them to go in the bath. If you don't have a bath, if it's a shower, mix it towards the end. You can put like a towel and let them put it on them so the magnesium soaks into your skin. Magnesium helps you relax your muscles. So I'm doing a lot of adjustments outside. So the brain is thinking the brain is retiring. Actually, no, I'm doing a lot of adjustment outside. So I'm tricking the brain into believing it's tired. Oh, my body is tired. But no, I've made all the adjustments outside. So I am actually rewiring the brain. Yeah. So rewiring the brain means I'm helping the brain to form a new neural path. So a lot of you can go and Google today neural path and brain rewiring. You look into all the TED videos, TED TED videos. They are amazing. Yeah. So with that now, the bath. So once the bath, it's a calm bath. Yeah. So you just slowly massaging the girl downwards and stuff and everything. Dress them, put them in a nice warm, tuck them in the bed. You give them melatonin at 8 o'clock. You start reading a book. John went to the forest. Don't read the book. John went to the forest now. So you're going to modify everything. John went to the forest. There was this beautiful bird. So you're modifying your voice. And in the background, we have a bit of a sleep soothing music, which we call it 432 hertz. That's all you use. You don't use anything higher frequency than that. So they are the one that are really calming, soft, and smooth. So you put that in the, you see how much adjustment I have made for the brain to rewire. This is all the external things you could do for the brain to rewire on its own. The brain is rewiring already. You do that for 3 days. The brain will start thinking, oh my God, I'm actually tired. On the third day, what we usually do, it will take 3 days for the neural pathway to form, which is the rewiring of the brain. The brain is now prepared with the schedule. So once you put the girl in the bath, the body is actually already ready for sleep. It's already looking forward to that because it's a routine, right? It's looking forward to it. So what you need to do is now from on the 4th day, I will say from 0.5, bring the melatonin to 0.4. So on the 4th day or the 5th day, we reduce it. We reduce it to 0.4, but we still keep the routine the same. So by 8 o'clock, the child is actually getting sleepy because it knows 8:30 is his sleep time, with or without melatonin, but you need the melatonin to help you. So a week will go with 0.4. Same routine, a week, 0.3. You reduce it. Once you get to 0.2, we make it 0. We don't give melatonin anymore to see how long. So when you're reading, you'll see the kid already dozing off because the body is ready to actually sleep. So with the calm music and everything, the child will be sleeping. You put like a nice warm blanket, tuck them in, and you go. From the 0 dose, we observe for 7 days, which is 1 week. If the child gives you consistent sleep without melatonin, we know the brain has constantly rewired, and it's definitely that what it is. So you don't have to give melatonin anymore. So that's how we work. We rewire your brain to sleep on its own. So somebody asked me, I remember Pooja, you asked me a long time back, how did I give up my rice? Oh my God, rice, in fact, coffee. Coffee is something I gave up. I used to drink 9 cups of coffee. What I did was, how did I rewire myself? I saw the coffee as calorie. So when I took a cup of coffee, I saw it as calorie and caffeine. So I went and read up quite a bit. I went and read up, oh my God, what caffeine did to me. So I read all the harmful things it could do to me. And whenever I saw the coffee, I only see the bad things it did to my body. Bang, 1 week I left coffee. But that process, nah, coffee, no, Anpa, coffee, I speak aloud. Coffee causes me stress. It gives you a bit more stress because it's giving you caffeine. Caffeine keeps you awake longer and your body gets stressed. I said, no, I need to let my body rest when it's actually tired. I cannot push my body by artificial thing. No, I am telling myself and I am actually rewiring myself, which is I'm brainwashing myself. And I told him rice. Actually, I don't need rice. It's carbohydrate. I need to lose weight. This is what I want to look like, Sugar is the same thing too. Look at sugar as a calorie. But you can do backwards, like how I told you about melatonin, you do backwards too. Every day you put half. If let's say you had a 2 tablespoon, and then you put half, 1.5, then you put 1, you put half, and then you don't put anymore. Because you're changing your taste bud to drink a coffee without sugar. I drink coffee with no sugar. I train myself to. I do a lot of brain wiring to myself. So I stop rice. I do rice on and off now if I go to gym. I do rice only if I go to gym because I carry quite a bit of weight. So I have to have rice. So otherwise I don't do rice. I do a lot of pastas that's lentil based, which is protein based. Yeah. So the sugar bit, you can do the backward chaining, we call it. For sugar, you can do backward chaining. So if you're somebody who does 2 tablespoons of sugar coffee, you do 1.5 or 1.75. Reduce it every 2 days. Let your brain adjust to the taste. It will take you 3 days to adjust. Your brain will rewire every time. Every 3 days, you reduce the dose. Eventually, you can drink coffee without sugar. You'll be like, great, try it. Go home and try. That's why you don't do anything too quickly. You put your body through shock, unless you're a very strong personality. Like, you know what, I will do it. That's a different thing. But if you're somebody who has to do it slowly, do it slowly. No competition. So that's what you have to do, Sandy. Like as I said, look at your dose. That's your baseline. Work backwards. So every day, every 3 days, every 3 to 4 days, reduce it. You will know, you won't crave for it. After that, it's normal for you. Then you can tell people, oh, I don't use sugar in my coffee. That will make you feel proud. That will maintain that behavior. You need to feel proud of it. No, I actually stopped sugar because I was putting a lot of it. No, you don't need to tell that bit. I stopped sugar. I drink coffee without sugar, and keep that proud face, and that will make you, that releases a lot of positive points in your body. You feel actually good not having sugar. I drink 3 liters of water. People used to ask me, how do you do, 3 liters of water? I said, because I train myself to drink, because I know what water does. I know a lot of people ask me about my skin. I don't wear foundation. I don't have makeup on my face, nothing, right? They say, I said, no, I drink water to keep my face that way too. Of course, I sleep on time. I have to do a lot of work. I must drink 3 liters of water? Okay, no. Then you're only going to look at my face. You're not going to have that face. So, I'm looking forward to that day everyone says it. Yeah, you first have to be proud of what you're doing. Your brain will start believing it. Trust me, people will be just, wow. People ask me, do you drink? I said, no. Do you have coffee? No. Do you drink tea? I said, yeah, infused tea. Do you eat meat? No. Do you do, no, no. Oh my God, why are you living? Or how do you live? I said, I live for myself, not for you. I believe in what I do. I've been here for this long. Not one single person was able to convince me to drink alcohol. That's because I believe, not because my mom told me. No, I believed I didn't want to have alcohol. But just because you have alcohol, nothing is wrong. Because you like it, you like to drink it, and you know how to control your drink, go for it. But I don't want to drink alcohol. I just don't want. But people think they will come to, brainwash you. But if you're so strong and your brain is so wired and it's under your control, you will just cut them off. You're not going to listen to them. So that's how you rewire your brain. You rethink the sugar. How are you going to rethink the sugar? Calorie. What does it do? It actually makes you look older too. Sugar makes you look older too. No, I don't have makeup on my face, darling. I like how you say it looks natural. No, I don't have makeup. I've just put lipstick on. Yeah. You're talking about foundation? No. No. It's a lot of hard work, right? But yes, there's no foundation on my face. No. So for a lot of you are curious how rewiring of brain works. That's how it works. You rethink. You can do it. You can. How you want to do it? You start believing in it. First, you need to believe in it. I'm only where I am today because I believed in it, not because somebody paved the way for me and I just walked down the roses. No. I believed, I worked hard, I stayed focused, and I tell my brain, no, Anpa, you're going to do it. I talk to myself as a third person. Anpa, you're going to do it. So Sandy can go home and say, you know what, So Sandy, you have to tell yourself, Sandy, you're going to do it. You're going to let go of sugar. Remember what you want to do. Talk to yourself as if it's a third person. Remember, Sandy, what you wanted to do. Oh, you wanted to let go of sugar. Why? Why did you want to let go of sugar? Because it was making me look old. It's putting a lot of weight on me. I don't want. Good. What are you going to do first? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. First, instead of 2, I'm going to try with 1.75. So your taste bud will get adjusted every time you reduce the sugar. Coffee is the same. Any addiction is the same. So that's what we do. If anybody comes with alcohol addiction, we definitely do CBT. It's cognitive behavioral therapy. So you have to talk yourself through it first, and then you change your behavior, and then you see the outcome. So it's called CBT. You're welcome to Google CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. That's one of the fantastic things that actually works quite a big time. Mindfulness, you being mindful of what you're doing. Be aware how much sugar you're putting in there, how much of coffee powder you're putting in there, how much of milk you're adding, how much of rice you're being aware of it, you're being conscious of it. You won't go wrong. Don't do that. Don't be too easy on you. Stick to your rules. You bend it here and there, bend it. It's okay to bend it, but don't be too easy. And it's like, you know what, just one day, it's okay. Sometimes the one day become 2, and then you let it go. So that's brain rewiring bit. So it's about how you're changing the environment to break your brain think and tricking your brain into thinking it. So that's rewiring. So I've explained about food addiction or anything. Even let's say like how I told you, how you get your husbands to do the dishes. For example, if you want them to do the dishes regularly, you actually reinforce them. You praise them. Oh my God, just get them a little gift. How many of your husbands randomly give you a gift? It's not birthday, it's not Mother's Day, nothing. Randomly, they come up with like a bouquet. Random. I walk past the shop, your name was written on the bouquet. I just have to get it. Here you go. You'll be like, oh my God. Same thing. I mean, if you're not getting it, maybe you should brain rewire them to get it. So if you like them to do the dishes, one day you say, honey, can you please help me? I just need your help. Let's say, so start them in some way. They will start doing it in some way. Bang on, you got your baseline. You need to have a baseline, which is one day they just start doing it. Oh my, just go and make a beautiful car, and there'll be something they actually really like. Get that bit, put it there, and say, you know what? You've just made my day. You're such a helpful, darling husband. Don't talk about the dishwashing. Don't ever reward him for dishwashing. Reward him for that behavior that he was your helper. He listened to you. He looked after you. I'm so lucky to have a husband like you. Whether if it's true or not, just bullshit. Just tell them, you know what? It's just amazing. You think a lot of husbands don't do it? They always bullshit to you. You're the best wife I ever have. Like, who's the other wife? So, just bullshit. Just make the other person happy. Of course, sometimes you have to say it real too. It's that some of your husbands are just amazing. You would know. Just tell them the truth, but you tell it openly. But with some little gift, like a card, handwritten card or something they might like, and then you don't have to tell the dishwashing again. Tell them something else. And then eventually you tell that a bit more often. You see things happening and you start appreciating, and you tell about him to your families. He's just amazing. I'm so lucky to have such a husband. You'll see them, they start working because they're like, oh my God, did my wife talk about me to all my relatives? Woo-hoo. Talk about your husband to your girlfriends. You see how your husbands will start working. But you need to do it in such a way, like வாழைப்பழத்துல ஊசி ஏத்துற மாதிரி மெதுவா செய்யுங்க. Your husbands will do a lot of work. I know it's a bit tricky because they're so maybe not used to doing it with their mums as well, but it's a good try. You will not go wrong. Try it with them. But always remember, don't praise them especially for what they did. Praise them for the overall thing, because you want them to listen to you all the time, not just dishwashing. So, get your children to praise, but always praise him when he can hear it, to your girlfriends especially, to your girlfriend's husband especially. Then your girlfriends also can benefit, because their husband also, oh my God, he's doing, then I also do it. So pass the love, spread the love out there for everybody. And I think men just do it because they like that kind of like a limelight sometimes too. So that's your rewiring of the brain. Last topic of today, so that we'll wrap up in another 20 minutes or so. Behavioral management. In this one, I wanted to cover anxiety big time, and any behavior, like how I said bullying. When we don't have behavior, when we are dead. When we are dead, that's the only time we don't have behavior. Other than that, everything is a behavior. You sit as a behavior, you stand as a behavior, you walk as a behavior, you're running, you're talking. Everything is a behavior. Whether it's acceptable or not is the question. Yeah. So behavioral management. For example, your kid always comes late home, or like how I told you, because behavioral management is whatever I just told you, everything. Like, you're managing someone's sleep, you're managing someone's bullying. How would you, everything is managing that behavior. You manage your behavior, the other person will change. You being consistent, the other person change. Okay. But today I specifically want to deal with anxiety, which a lot of us go through. Sometimes we're going through depression. So this is the two main thing. And I know we've got Sandra here this group as well. So she does a lot of online counseling. So if you needed to talk to Chandran, I know there's a couple of people here, but I don't know who. If they are, they can show themselves who are in the counseling line. If you think you need to get to some channel somewhere, please do. I have two counselors. So one is my uni counselor and one is my personal counselor. So can you imagine, with the job I do, I have two counselors. And I'm doing my double masters too. So with that, there's no way I could just survive without a counselor. But no one calls me crazy or mad. People keep saying, "Oh my God, Anpa." See, people I keep saying, but I'm once upon a time, I'm an anxious kid. I used to throw up. I used to vomit. I used to throw up. You can see how my hands would go cold because I'm so anxious. I used to play Vienna. I used to perform in front of 200 people, 300. My teacher would say, "Poi wasi, hinani, po." But she never understood I'm actually having stage anxiety. Not once. In fact, I didn't even know. I'll have churning. I feel butterfly. I tell my teacher, I feel stomach pain, teacher. I feel some. But don't want to get lower. Poi mari wasi po. I was like, okay, and then I'll play, and you can see my hand trembling. I'll be making like a million mistake, and people will be like, "Aha, oh, enna wasti," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" After the concert, I used to throw up because the anxiety was just over the roof. After that, I would eat, because before that I couldn't eat. That's when I realized much later I was actually having anxiety. You know how we Indians would say, "Po po, adala palakido po." It doesn't work. And I had to come to uni here 10 years ago. I found my counselor. Thanks to her, she helped me, guide me through. So those tips is what I'm going to share with you today, and it's worked amazing for me. And உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே வந்து oh, good, Shri, very good. Yeah, like how Shri says, a lot of you will have counseling in your workplace. உங்க workplace இருக்கிற counseling abuse பண்ணுங்க. Go and use, because they're all for you. உங்களுக்கு எதான ஒரு work stress இருக்கட்டும், இல்ல family related இருக்கட்டும், at least when you've spoken, you're very clear to think. Always empty your mind. உங்கள இங்க நிறைய பேர் yoga teachers இருக்கீங்க, meditation teachers இருக்கீங்க. Get in touch with them. This group is such a good group. Meditate. Do yoga, meditate, and clear everything that's clogging your head. You're such a fresh person next day morning. Start fresh. Start with them, like, how they say, start the day with yoga or meditation, end the day with a meditation. You won't have any problem. You will see every problem as like a small dot. There's somebody who said behavioral management is just you having a right attitude. Do you see half full cup or full or empty cup? That's what they say, half full or half empty. That person said, no, I'm glad I have a cup, which is posted in one of these things, in our page. Somebody posted it. What are you thankful for? I remember. That's what it is. I'm so thankful I can connect with you ladies today. I don't know how many of you I'm going to help today, how many of you are going to take this back home today to do something, but I'm glad and thankful I could reach out to somebody whom I have to today. I'm so glad this many of you have come today to listen to me saying something that whatever I know, I've shared with you my life experience and my whatever my teacher has said and stuff. How we learn to look at things will shape you. You won't be actually having a lot of worries, but definitely go and look for a counselor. If something is bothering, I know a lot of you still not open to counseling. Nothing wrong in counseling. As I told you, I have 2 counselors. I have a lot of friends who back me up as well. If let's say I can't get on my counselors, I talk to one of my friends. I just talk. I just tell her, can you just listen? I just want to talk to you. I just talk. After talking, I'm like, yeah, great. Then I get my counselor's appointment. I go through the strategies to follow so I can overcome that anxiety. How can I deal with it? I used to have deadline anxiety. I cannot submit anything online. So if Pooja didn't call me today, I would have thrown up too. There was just because I've never spoken anything live like this. So usually it's a live audience. So I'm used to live audience, but this was just, oh my God, I can't hear the girls. I don't know how they're feeling. I was so anxious, but then I had to do breathing exercise. And then I said, I can do it. Anpa, you can do it. The people are waiting for you. They're keen to wait for you. They like you. So I had to rewire my brain to think about the whole live session differently for me to sit here. So I've done all of it that I just told you. I did it myself before coming here. So, and now look at me. I'm so comfortable talking to you and I'm so happy talking to you because you're giving me that feedback that tells me, oh my God, yeah, I am, I can do it. I can do it. Um, okay. This is something I've never shared with them. I shared it with very close friends, but I know this group, not that you're going to take it anywhere, but it's my very, very personal experience. So now personally, I go through Pandrenga, you will know where I'm coming from and why I'm saying it. You don't have to tell me what it, but if it matches you, that's what it is at the end of the day. I got married 8 years ago. He was just a lovely husband, as always would be, and he was so nice to me. And like not like I don't have to do any of these things that I told you because he washes the dishes, he cleans, he cooks. I get breakfast in bed. This is how my life was. He cleans everything. All I had to do was go to uni to study, and I was second year psychology student here at University of Queensland. So that was life. I was like, great, this is cool. This is the best thing I've got. And then you've already calmed down, you settled, you've relaxed already because great husband, you got everything you wanted. Like it's just so nice. Who don't want that husband who cooks clean, feeds you? He'll get my bath ready. How many of you want? I can see all of you putting your hands up. So from that anxious, how will this marriage go to relax? I chose him. I chose him. I went all out against my family because my family is those typical traditional one. நாங்க பார்க்கிற மாப்பிள்ளை தான் நீ கல்யாணம் பண்ணிக்கிற kind of family. But then I said no. I'm a lot older now, and I think yeah. So I thought, oh my God, I made the right choice. It's perfect. I'm so proud. I got in relaxed mode. One day he came and told me, Anpa, I need to go to India because and he's Northern Indian. He said, look, I need to go to India. Some family issues. I said, oh, go. Me being the cool chick all the time. Oh, great, go. Go and look after your mom, dad, whatever you have to do, not my problem. Right, yeah. He was married before and he divorced. And he's got a 3-year-old daughter at that time. Doesn't bother me. Not, it's all fine, cool. So he went back and he stayed there. He said, oh, look, Anpa, it's very difficult. I've got these issues keep coming up. I can't, go ahead with it. I can't come at the moment. It's being busy. I said, no problem. Deal with it and come back. I'm all fine here, because you got such a good husband. One day comes an email. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Anpa. I've always wanted to let you know. When I came here, things changed. I said, okay, what is it? I'm no more coming back. I was married for 5 months. I said, oh, you're no more coming back? What so? Why so? And then he said, my ex-wife has changed. So she said she'd like to get back with me. And for my daughter's sake, we are getting back together as a family. I said, oh. But I said, I'm your wife now. She's here, I know, but my family said I need to go back. I'm going back with her. I said, okay. I just didn't know how to react. So I said, okay. And then we ended the whole topic. But now how will I take the story back home? I can't tell my family because the moment that I was so proud that I'd made the right choice, I've just gone boom. I've actually fallen from 100 story hide to the ground because I've made a mistake. I went against them. They're going to be so furious with me. But having said that, I actually have to get divorced now. Oh my God. My family, no one is divorced. So to me, it was like, okay, great, divorce. So I had to go through the dictionary to find out what was divorce. It was that stressful. And I was in uni as well. So I took myself time off. Thank God I could think. Then I went to my counselor straight away. And I just went there and cried for 1 hour. She said, no, just sit down and cry. She just let me cry. I finished the whole tissue box. Cried and cried and cried. The only thing I told her is, I am lost. I'm in a foreign land. I'm lost. I told her. I said, lost. I said, I'm totally lost. I don't know. She said, don't bother. I'll help you to go through this journey. What is your priority now? I said, I have no priority because I'm lost. She said, let me guide you. Where are you now? Where have you come to see me? I said, in the counseling, uni. That's it. What are you doing now? She said, I'm studying. That's it. What's your priority? So she didn't tell me that's my priority. She just gave me the outlook and she said, what's your? I say, study. That's it. Put everything aside. Just go and study. I'll help you regulate your emotions. That's what she said. Let me help you with coping. Let me help you cope with the situation. You don't have to solve any issues now. What's your focus? Go and study. I'll take you through that whole process. So we drew a line. So anxiety, there's no sleep, no sleeping. Because I had to pick up the phone and tell my family. Then she guided me through. I gathered my courage. I picked up the phone and I told my brother, oh my God, the Indian Tamil drama serial. We told you before, blah, blah, blah. And it all came out. So I had to just sit down. And my counselor said, I just want you to sit down and listen. So I listened. Yeah, my fault, right? I just had to listen. I said, fine. And then I said, okay, great. Now what should I do? She said, great. They finished their part. They'll come back to you. So they're sorting out their emotion. I said, okay. If she didn't guide me, there's no Anpa today. So she said, let them sort with their emotion. They let it out now. You've absorbed it. You come and let it out here. I'm here to take it from you. I went and I told her everything, and I was so upset. This is what my mom said, my brother said, and blah, blah, blah. And then you can see how I'm being guided constantly. My brain is constantly being rewired that they are actually small problems. She keep focusing back on me. She didn't let me think about my ex-husband. She didn't let me think about my family or even the problem. She keep bringing back to me. It's Anpa, it's you. Let's talk about you. So she'll only talk about me all the time. So then I realized, this is why I'm telling you all too. You first, then everybody else. Yeah. And then I got that courage and strength from her, and I realized, actually, you know what? Yeah. If I am going in that direction, people will come with me. And if they're dropping out, I just let them go as I go. I don't bother too much. And I managed to finish my studies, so second or third year. And then I realized that husband of mine, he was actually having an affair with 4 other women when he got married to me. There comes another bomb. So when you are so relaxed, when you're so relaxed that you've made the right choice and these attacks keep coming, and then you say, oh my God, that means actually I did make the wrong choice even from the day, but I never picked it up because he never showed it. But was he a good husband to me? Yeah, he was a fantastic husband. But now, if I go, so with all those things, of course, I applied for divorce, I got divorced, I did whatever I had to do, right, moved on. Since now 8 years now since I divorced. But if I want to go out on dating, that fear would come out, oh my God, how if he's also having an affair with someone? That's when I started rewiring my brain. I needed to see everybody as different. Every date is a different. Every guy is different. I didn't allow my past to follow me. I managed that behavior there. My anxiety kicked in. So then there was one time that I didn't want to find anybody because I'm going to make a mistake. I started believing I'm going to make a mistake when I find somebody. But I remember what my counselor said. No, I will know how to look after myself. I'm going to find the person. So what I did, I wrote down what I want and what I don't want. And I couldn't find a guy till today because none of them fit in any of those things. There were a couple who did, obviously, but we had to let go for some other reason. Otherwise, they were lovely. But what I realized is I didn't bring my past with me, but I took a lesson from it. And I keep going. So I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel guilty that I made a wrong choice. No, I don't. I became a lesson for people, and I started making it. Look at me, but look at me where I am. If நம்ம எல்லாம் தமிழ் படம் பார்க்குறோம், good example. She's somebody who I really admire, Nayandara. If you look at Nayandra's story, she could actually write a book, how a woman can fall and come back. Probably I was one of the women who was so proud of her when she came back, and she just shot up higher than Prabhudeva. These are all cinema stories, but this is real life story. And she is lady superstar. Where's Prabhudeva? like, hello, Prabhudeva, where are you? If you come back and just give it that heart. People, no one talks about Prabhudeva to her anymore. No, they actually talk about her. Even her current boyfriend is no one. They only talk about her. Make yourself that bright person. You trust and you believe in yourself. You know, this anxiety doesn't come in if you keep it outside. If you open the door and you let it in, it comes to you. When it come in, breathe in and tell yourself, no, I'm going to do it. Always write on a note. Can you handle it? Is it within your control? If the answer is yes, write down all the strategies you could do to control the problem. If the answer is no, let it go. It's not within your control, let it go. Don't bother about it. Don't talk about it. Don't. If it's really bothering you, then go and talk to your GP. GP will refer to your counselor. You can also ask for a sleeping tablet just to rest at that time. After that, you can be fine. But you know, if you think, you know, I got no control over the issue. So do I have control over what happened, which kind of guy walks in? Yes, I do. Because when I'm talking to them. But if, let's say, if they are the wrong ones along the way, can I let them go? Yes, I can let them go. Because I'm not living for anybody. I live for myself. If somebody comes into my life, they have to make me happy too, and I have to make them happy too. So I've just started dealing with my anxiety that way. Do I have a control? The question you have to ask, this is the question. Do you have a control over that incident? No, let it go. If you say yes, what are the things you could do? List them down and do each at a time to see whether you're getting to the end of the problem or not. Always list your trouble. You will be able to deal with the anxiety. If you can deal with the anxiety, you're not going into depression, because depression is already the next stage. Yeah, Nayendra, yes, Pooja, definitely. In Jayalalitha is another one. These are Jayalalitha is somebody I really wanted to see her in person, and it was such a sad thing for me that I couldn't see. There was not any men I wanted to see. It was her I wanted to see, but it's a misfortune. Yeah, she could be a hypocrite in any way, but that attitude, when she came back, she always bounces back 2 times, and she comes back so loud. And I was like, you know what? That's how we have to be. And today, my ex-husband, he knows where I am. He's kicking himself. It's like, oh my God, I miss my chest. I'm like, sorry. So it feels so good for you to say, oh, I'm sorry. You're a history. Um, and that's what we all can do it. No one should be belittling you. And this is just like a mini counseling session too. If you can believe, you manage your behavior, you change your behavior, and you move forward. And I'm very sure you all will be very fine. Um, so many roles. This is how you deal with them. I've given you practical examples, my life example. Um, you know, um, yeah, so I hope the examples I've given you all helps you and helped you. If you have any question, I'm very, very happy to address it in a private message. If you want to Facebook me, if you've got my number, you're more than welcome to text me. What I will do, for those of you who have come here, that's my mobile number. You're more than welcome to WhatsApp me. I'm not working for the next 1 week. I'm happy to help you out in any way, so that I'll still say Stan, that I'm helping somebody. Yeah, no one's problem is bigger than anybody's problem. Everything is a small problem. So I really hope you'll find a great, pleasant experience being with your teenage children. They're actually easy if you change a bit of your parenting style, the way you talk. Yeah, it's easy. Like I gave you my example, neurological disorders. I told, if there's anyone of you out there who wants to get more information, please feel free. Rewiring of the brain. You can actually rewire anything you want to. You know, from exercise to everything. From walking. If let's say you keep going to the same donut shop, if you want to stop, rewire your brain. So yeah. Oh, Pooja, I don't know how. Okay, I'll save the session when I end. Yeah. Is that what you mean? So thank you very much, ladies. I really appreciate it. I know I've just gone way past the time, but there was a lot of question coming in, and I thought I'll just do a full thingy. I hope it's been very helpful to all of you. எதான தப்பா சொல்லியிருந்தா மன்னிச்சுக்கோங்க. And I really hope somebody has benefited. Um, yes, thank you very much, and wish you all the very best. Please feel free to reach out if you really need. Otherwise, yes, go for counseling. Get any help. And yeah, I wish you all the best and happy lockdown time. See you all soon. Take care. Thank you. And thank you for all your comments. I really appreciate reading it. I'll try my level best to save the session. So I'm just going to ask you. So when I end the video, it'll ask me to save the session, yeah? Pooja, is that right? Oh, thank you, Uma. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Uma Mutturaj. Thank you, Uma Ram. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I think it was just great. Though I couldn't see you all face to face, but I think it was just really nice to meet you all on a different level today. So thank you. Oh, I definitely will, Vasanthi. Thank you very much. Whenever I get an opportunity, we definitely can talk more on any other topic. I'm happy to do it. Okay, cool. Alrighty, we'll let you all go. Thank you very much. I'll end the video session. Thank you. Bye.